Hey guys, welcome to the close, 2 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, welcome inside the last 2 hours of trading here. What a day it's been. A little bit muted overall for the overall market, but individual stocks, where to be today, including a couple of IPOs that end up giving you two-way action. We'll talk about this NU. We'll talk about the other one as well, very volatile. On the IPO front today, that is a look at how the market is shaping up with 2 hours left on a Thursday. 0.25% to the downside for the S&P, the Dow 0.18 there to the upside. NASDAQ is leading. That's the key here. Tech stocks pretty weak this afternoon. 0.9 after the past couple of days. We'll take it. I mean, could be a lot worse. So obviously, 0.9 after a couple of 2+% days to the upside. Not that bad overall. 1.5% for Brazil there to the downside. 1.3 for crude oil. Yeah, pretty ugly for cryptocurrencies. We were just talking, you heard Trader Pratt talking about Coinbase, Bitcoin, Ethereum, both coming off pretty sharply here this afternoon. So I got to watch some positions here on the cryptocurrency front, but hopefully we can find some opportunities. Here we go. Look at what is leading as far as individual stocks. This is the tech sector up here, the biggest box on this heat map today. Going to be the tech sector in the red, as we said. It's the software names, all pretty much in negative territory. Same story for semiconductors, AMD, MPWR, ENPH, XLNX, all about 3% or more to the downside. Intel there, 2%. Micron as well in negative territory. Only a net standing out. And the hardware equipment makers, 3.8% to the upside, trying to offset, but failing miserably, it must be said. Etsy, 4% to the downside. Look at Tesla standing out there. 4% to the downside today. It's been a pretty positive couple of days for Tesla, so coming off a little bit. Some of the airlines, travel names back in the red after a couple of very strong days. It's worth mentioning. There's Southwest, LUV, UAL here as well. You can see Boeing as well, 1.8% to the downside. So a bit of a mixed story overall. Once you get into some of the consumer names, some of the healthcare names also in positive territory. It is the tech group. If you pull up the NASDAQ, going to look very much the same, very red, right across the board, as we do to kick off the afternoon. Always, we'll have a look back at some of the opportunities we were given in the morning. If you joined us in the pre-market this morning, we covered Apple. We covered a whole bunch of stocks, including Twitter. Twitter ends up being a bit of a decent trade. We'll talk about that coming up. But IPOs were on everyone's mind. Lots of opportunities in the IPO front today. Sean's going to kick us off here and talk a little bit about one of his trades from the morning.
Hey Trader family, yeah, this is going to be a good one. We've talked a little about this on memes and movers, and we teased it, but it's going to be Lucid. And I mean, today Lucid was on the radar, and I actually, even though we're down 14%, it was on my sticky note early to go long because we had this 40 level. If you see right here, we love to defend even dollars. On a chart, it actually doesn't look that great, the 40 level, bouncing around maybe a little bit back here a couple of days, but there's not too much support there, but we like to play it anyway, so that's exactly what we do. It opens up 42, 43, something like that. We be very, very patient. We're learning our lessons every single day here on Trader TV Live. Comes back in and we pick up the best prices we can. First price, 41. Okay, tester, right? Next price, we wait for it to come all the way down and we get 40, 50s. Then boom, goes back up to the upside. In, out, right? Out, all around here. Starting to get nervous. Keeps failing at this 41.25. So that's where we're getting out. These are profitable trades. Okay, fine. Then you see the movement down. Look how easy Lucid falls down here. I mean, and that's the key to me, right? So as it just, notice that we don't average back in here. We're out. We don't even worry about this trade. So it comes back in. We're watching this fall. Normally we would reload there, but we don't. We wait for it to fall all the way back down to that 40 level. And then it kind of barcodes a little bit. You can see 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. Then eventually breaks a little bit. We take another 40, about 39.80, something like that. Get them out back out there at 40.25. Again, right at this top. Then we say, you know what? We're going to hold probably a quarter, 20%, something like that for the 40 break. And then once the 40 breaks, we get out. All right, look at all of that. Like, look at the red candles. Huge, huge movement down. Remember, we don't see any of this. So we switch right away. The minute that 40 has been broken and we're down, approaching 10%, we're like, you know what? This should be a short from now on. So we're very, very patient. We actually let it come all the way back right to this key level again. How did this happen? We get short again right there at 40.23. The thing about this short was This, I mean, Trader Pratt always talks about the risk and reward. This one's like 10 to 1 or something. We're giving into this 40-50 area. So we're giving it about 25 cents. And then look what happens. There's our first out, 39.80 or near around that 40 level. That's that 30-40 cents. Boom. Now we're already 1 to 1 right there. Then boom, what happens is we get these huge red candles. There's a bid out at 39.50. So there's 80 cents. And then we're like, why are we even going to get out of this? This is nuts. So we look back and we say, okay, what level here might we hit? And we're holding out for it. 38. That's that wick bottom right there. We love that. Here it comes. Look at that, 38 right there. Look over here. Here's 38. It comes right to 38. We don't do anything about it. That would have been an excellent area to get out. We're still holding this trade. It's $2 in the money, but we should have got out there at 38, defended it right there, and we even talked about it live on Memes and Movers. Join that show every day, 11 to 2. I came on and I was like, oh my God, there's big size there at 38. We didn't do anything. Honestly, I thought it was going to break. We're going to watch out for that level one more time. But this is your trade of the day, and the reason why I think it's important is we switched. We were defending the long because we thought 40 was going to hold, right? When it doesn't hold, we flip the switch. You're only going to see one purple tick. That is the short. That's what we hit to the downside. Now I'm probably looking, look at this barcode between 39. If we break back above 39, we'll probably take this out, give up that dollar on the backside, but whatever. Good trade here for Lucid. I like the name.
Yeah, Lucid announces that new convertible senior debt deal aftermarket yesterday, raising more cash and raising more debt. So ends up being pretty negative on the day, down about 13%. I mean, the whole market coming back to the downside. That's a link to the watch list, guys. If you're looking for an absolutely free resource we send out every morning in the pre-market, you can check out the QR code. Miss V will also help you out in the chat. If you need that link this week, brought to you by xsigma-trading.com. Go to X Sigma, check them out. Want to talk about new holdings here. Ends up being a crazy trade. This was the details we got after market yesterday. $9 on the pricing. They priced a whole ton of shares, we'll say, 289.2 million shares at $9. So they raised about 2.8 billion, comes to market around 41.5 billion on the market cap. And then fails miserably, I guess is the best way to describe this, at $12, guys. Wow, what a move both directions for NU.
Yeah, so it was a pretty standard. It opened at 11.25. There's a wick down to $11. I mean, realistically, it actually held 11.25 pretty well and went straight upside. There was a slight pause at 12 even, and then there was a bit of a breakout at that price too to give you only the quarters. And when it came back in, it then held that same 12.25 open price. The only trades I had was open, 12 even break, and then 11.25. Those worked out. The last trade after it failed to get back to those highs at 11.80 was going long in front of 11. This is where it's like it sucks. I should have been short at $11. I paid for shorts here. When 11 went, it was pretty clean to the downside, and now we're looking at a $10 even. So, you know, talk about respecting the even dollar levels. I can't think of an IPO ever, realistically, that it took so long to update the price, and then it was like indicated open 9, indicated open 10, indicated open 11. And then 11.25, and then it opened. Usually like random prices back and forth. This was pretty straightforward, so to see it respect some of these even dollar levels, I guess is not a surprise. About the only trade I will make in it now would be to see it bounce off of 10 even. Like I'd probably go long, just tight stop in front of 10 even. But there's a heck of a lot of other things moving. You'll see I actually have Rivian to the long side. Tesla, I mean, before we even get too far away, Tesla, just to everyone's attention, just made a wick down to 1,011. So 1,000 in play. If it holds that, I think Rivian holding 115 seems like a bit of a bet. Lucid just held 38, as Sean just pointed out to you guys. So I'm trading Rivian because it feels like, you know, it hasn't been as weak and it's already bounced off 115. But yeah, NU, we talk about it. The trade is the open, Sean, and it's like after that there might be one or two opportunities, but you really want to get your chips in right off the bat.
Them chips in, yeah, and I mean, we did. We got our chips in, that's for sure. And you could see here, so it's been a little bit of a rough ride for us here, but we just did defend this 10.25 and took back all the money that we lost. I mean, these are small cuts here. We tested 11, thought that it would hold. I mean, Neil just reviewed this, and then it breaks, and we actually get a great price. I told Neil, like, I use that NASDAQ scan key. So if you're part of Day Trade the World, welcome. And I use that NASDAQ scan key to grab that fill. So that turned out to be a great one there at 1094. So I wind up slippage, like that's a long 1102. That's a 8-cent hit. Like this is a dollar winner, 8-cent hit right there. And then we actually hold a little bit more and get out at 75 break. So that actually turns out to be a 25-cent hit all in all. Then we buy it again, get out again. So this is buy at 1050, out at 1040. That's another 10-cent hit. And then we just make this back a little bit here, defending 10 quarters, out 37, out 42. We should have got out 50, but obviously we're just doing that trade of the day. So we'll wait to see what happens now. I keep saying Nucor, but Nubank now, I'm in Nucor. Nucor, if you hear me say Nucor, it's a steel company. It's like the only name that I'm in here. I bought this at 95 bucks on the daily. And those of you, I think it's Austin. I don't know if you're here, but Austin, I know bought this with me right here, 95. What a great run to 120. I wonder, Austin, if you got some out. I think next time I'll do that. We've double topped there a bit, but it's Nubank, it's New Holdings, and there's the one-day chart. That's going to be useless. So right now we'll defend 10. If you can guess where my out's going to be, you will win a shout out because I think it's pretty obvious at this point, down here somewhere. So those of you can guess can win that one. But that's what we're doing right now. We have a few more shares out. My outs will take one more spot at 1050, and then we'll see if we can get back up here near 11 or so. That's what we're doing right here with Nubank. But wow, Brendan, you hit that one on the head there. Lots of opportunities. Oh, do you mind if I do HCP here, Brendan? I don't know if...
Yeah, I was actually going to talk about it next.
Okay, let's go to Brendan.
I mean, I can show you the details here first, then we can jump into what happened. So the other one today, $16 billion on the NASDAQ debut, the software maker Hashicorp. So they sold a little bit less, but value was still pretty high, $1.2 billion worth, $15.3 million. The range was 68 to 72. So, I mean, I just checked volume, obviously a little bit lower. It's a higher price stock, but did give you a great opportunity as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think Neil had this.
I had one breakout in and out. I didn't take the opening print. That was the difference.
That's the difference. Okay, so we'll talk about the opening print. Again, it's just, I admittedly don't know that much about this company at all. We did a little bit of research. I heard Brad talking a little bit about it, software, things like that. So it was in the right space. So we didn't take a lot of shares on this. Like we knew that Nubank had Warren Buffett, had 10 cents. Doesn't seem to matter as Nubank is lower than the IPO price. And HCP is higher than the. I almost want to get the spelling here or to get the name properly. It's Hashicorp. I don't know if it's Hashicorp, but there it is, HCP. There's the bid that we got. So we got filled long. I don't know about this wick. It didn't affect anything. All the way back up to the upside. Our first out, so we get 81.20 or whatever the IPO price was. I think it was 81.15. That makes sense. And then we get it out first. We're at 83. So we're like, okay, we'll take $2. So we take a piece out there, and then we just let it go, man. We let this go all the way to the top, and you could see we let it go to 89. I was waiting, and I came live on the air for this one as well, and we talked about getting out at 89.90 or something up here. No, sorry, it was 89.50 on the upside, thinking that, hey, you know what? We don't know anything. I don't know anything about this stock, what the PE is going to be, anything if they're profitable. I don't know anything. So I was like, you know what? A psychological level of 90, Brendan, made a lot of sense to me. So we had that order up. It failed at 89. We actually saw, I think Brad actually had a short there. So we failed at 89. And then as it came back in, I just punched out when it broke through 88. So from 81 to 88, that's a $7 winner. So for me, it was a banger. So there we go, man. We made a lot of money. My number one stock today, Nubank, New Holdings. My number two stock today, HCP. So hey, look, we traded well today. Lucid was a monster for me. That could go too. So I still like Lucid. But as you can see, there are two stocks that we have no idea about, no idea how they're going to trade, but we use the IPO strategy of getting long off the open print and then just do something like this. Spin that. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you know what? I can't really remember the last time. I think Coupang, I was in a meeting when that hit, and I was so confident that I left that order in. I know COUP was one that didn't work.
That you don't always want to do.
Was there another one? I think they've all worked initially. I think Rivian ripped.
I think as long as you manage to trade at the open, they've all been pretty good. But while this is going on, by the way, the market is continuing to flush to the downside. Well, the NASDAQ, I should say, past 1%. Because I keep looking at the ES, and I'm like, the ES is barely moving. Then you look over at the NASDAQ, and it's really going. But NVIDIA, remember what it did yesterday when it had that hard, big-time capitulation? It just went down like $3 out of nowhere. Well, it kind of did the same thing here. And yesterday, I didn't take a bid. I just went long at 306 here when it tried tried to hold 305. I have my 15-minute chart up just so you can kind of see the last couple of days worth of action. I mean, 300 is a defensible level. I'm going to go in front of 305 first, but again, this is now 2 days in a row. There was a huge flush in NVIDIA a little bit later on in the session when we were with you guys yesterday, and it did in fact make a bit of a bottom. Here is actually more violent. It's just trying to chew through 305 right now. So the tech names still under pressure, ES holding up, but that's just for now, Brendo.
All right, we were talking Twitter, guys, in the pre-market. Kathy Wood was on CNBC this morning talking up Twitter and the possibility of more catalyst on the NFT side for their platform. There was also this kind of quiet headline that came through. They launched a new TikTok-like Explore tab and also some more warnings and security type features as well. So I was mentioning an opportunity. There was a little bit of a level I was looking at the pre-market there, 47 and a half to 47.75 up here. That ends up being the top of the day. So if you're looking to kind of fade this one, I mean, we're stuck in a range here now, guys, but still 2.5% on the day for Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, that'll be a frustrating one because it gave you a show. Well, the 15-minute, I can't look at that because of yesterday, that wick at 65. I forgot all about that. But I can show you the 1-minute chart. I would love to show you the 15. Even the wicks here. Give me a break. So it got up past that 40. It was a failed break. I think if you're watching the morning show, it was like, I wanted it in front of that level. I didn't chase it. I took the breakdown, got out when it broke VWAP, and it's done essentially nothing since. Like, your really only trade was when it failed off of 48 even. And even then, it broke 48, got up, and I'll ignore those wicks. It got up to about 48.20 or so, and then came back down. So still qualified as a failed break, in my opinion, but just wasn't willing to chase it through. And a failure through VWAP probably would have worked out. Oddly enough, we can call it the Kathy Wood bounce or whatever you want, but Twitter's holding up, and as the rest of the the NASDAQ and the tech names are under pressure, Twitter is holding at least some of its gains. So it's got some relative strength in it here today, but it definitely was a failed breakout there. And yeah, day trading mom, I wish you would have taken the docu short at the time. The market was bouncing. I know DocuSign, we talked about 152 on DocuSign there. And at the time of the day, the market was bouncing. If you look at what was going on at the level, it was kind of barcoding, nothing was happening. So it does look like it was pretty good when it came through the second time through. But the first time, it really wasn't doing much. It ended up bouncing back to 155. Later on in the session, after lunchtime, like this is when it was probably pretty good. 1, 2, when it started to turn into resistance. When it broke down, not great. But when it turned into resistance is when the market started to head back southbound. So, obviously it was a key level, and we were going by just how disgusting the reversal was on DocuSign. And then looking back at this previous support in the afternoon, 152. That's all I was looking at. I just didn't take the short myself. Missed out on Twitter, missed out on DocuSign. But I mean, really, just about everything reversed in the tech space. So there's a million shorts that we certainly would have missed out on today because you can't have them all.
Yeah, I didn't really look too much at Twitter today, but yeah, that was a big fall down there. People asking about my GME trade. Well, unfortunately, it breaks through 63 there, and then look, now it's at 157. GME is my third most profitable name today. Damn it. I said to Neil, I had a 157.50 bid. I mean, I canceled it. It's now way ways. It hasn't even filled that yet, but that sort of was the target there on GameStop. Continues to make moves down, and it was right in here. There was some level, I don't know where it was. Maybe it was this bottom candle there or on a 20-minute, but we looked at 157. Now all the way back to the downside, and I have an embarrassing wick as well up there, but thank God we made it all back. Well, not made it all, I mean, we made it all back, of course, but that out was a hit. Like, we were down there more than we're up now. So if I just would have held on to that would have been cool. But we make all the money back and obviously turn positive on GameStop. So wow, what an exciting day. Like, I'm losing already. We still have an hour and a half to go, and I already need to chug some water here, Brendo, as we get ready for the closing show.
Made me drink.
It is trading strategy time, guys. Get out your pens and pencils, and we're going to teach you a little bit, or attempt to anyways. We're talking price action today, something that you might have read somewhere on the internet or heard before. We're going to dig down into a couple of ideas that we can pass along to you that you can implement into your trading starting, I mean, today's almost over, so let's say tomorrow, guys. Let's talk price action.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, obviously, technicals and indicators that people use, fair enough, but we're going to talk about actual price movement. So I want to focus on something in the level 2 with regards to what people understand as a breakout, right? So first I want to come to a stock. I'll just pick something I traded today, and it's going to be BKKT, and I'm going to show you sort of a level that sticks out. It's $17. If you look at yesterday, the previous day's action here, 17, you had a huge drop after market. It fell off like a cliff, and it closed around that particular price. Now, what matters here is when it goes up to that key round number. People like breakouts at round numbers. When it got to 17 even, you're going to see it extend through and then snap back down. You'll ask yourself, well, why was I short at 17 here? What was it about that in a stock moving up on volume that wanted me to go short? It was a failed breakout, and the reason why, I looked at it on the level 2. Right now, you'll see about a 3-cent spread on the stock, right? 15.50 by 15.53. As it moved up to 17 even and broke through 17, the spread opened up. So a regular spread of 5 to 10 cents opens up to 15 to 20 pennies, but the offer goes all the way up to those 20s and 30s. The bid's not following it above 17. So that breakout price at 17, the bid is not following above that price. Once that doesn't happen, and then it immediately snaps back down through 17 without anybody deciding to buy above that particular price. To me, that's a failed break. When it breaks out at that level, there should be buyers on the top side of it, bidding 17.05, bidding 17.07, 11, as it goes up to that 30. When you don't see that happen and it snaps back, there are people trapped in a long, and it's a reversal. So this is a kind of thing where you don't have to go short on this. But imagine you took the 17 break on a breakout long. If you don't see the bid follow, you give it a couple seconds. Is anyone bidding? Anyone bidding? It goes up to this price. Not enough bids in there. Abnormally large spread, which doesn't catch up. You can get out right away, and that's a failed breakout. Save yourself some money, or you can reverse into the short. The key here is you identify that big level. You watch the level to understand what the normal spread is as it's moving on momentum, and then notice if it opens up and not in the favor of the breakout, which is exactly what happened on BKKT here. So it can work as a fail break in which you short the reversal, or one where you just decide to cover quickly, understanding that it's not going to work. That's price action. It's not about some fancy indicator that you might use on that breakout, but simply watching the movement on level 2.
And I think it's about, honestly, finding what works best for you. And I think that that's right. I mean, if you're a technical indicator person, great. And this is talking, obviously, about price action. And I think it's a completely different way to look at trading. And I'm going to use an example here. Unfortunately, with our Day Trade the World charts, we do have dark pool wicks that go all the way up here. But I'm going to talk about a wick off top and or wick off bottom. And what you're looking for here is a name that's moving, and you got to have volume. So Lucid does have volume today. You're not looking for stocks that aren't in play. You're looking for stocks that might have tipped their hand as to what they're doing. So I'm just going to blow this up a little bit here for you on Lucid and see if I can zoom in just a little bit. So these are the kind of wicks that I'm talking about, not these ones. Look at this move. So this happens right away early. You get a huge bump up, and these wick off tops, which I'm going to talk about, it's the reversal for the bottom, okay? So here's a move. What you're looking for is an aggressive move up. So this goes from 41.30 all the way to 42.57. So you're talking about $1.25 in 2 minutes, right? These are minute candles. So this is the first one, the second one, then the third one is where we're starting to go. So this is 3 minutes. You see this wick top there? That's the wick off top. So there's no wick here, there's no wick here, but this last candle, it's kind of like a doji star here, but we're not talking about getting technical. We're just talking about noticing that there is this price action stop. So someone stopped buying. Whoever was buying up here, they stopped right there. The candle closes below that last wick, right? And then you're starting to see the downward move. Well, Sean, what about this one? First of all, I don't think this even happened up there. That doesn't make any sense. But this wouldn't fit because you're down, 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 down. Then you get that wick off. No. You need an upward move to see, right? So where's the next one? Well, right here. This is not enough of a move. That's not enough of a wick. But look what happens here. Run, 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 run. Then you get that wick right there to the top, 41.50. And then look what happens. Boom, to the downside. And then you get another one right here, right in here. Run, 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 run. And again, this is from $40 up to $40.50. There's that wick back to here, another key level. and then accelerated to the downside. Now, you're not going to see any trades for me on here because I wanted to show you what this looked like. Let me turn my trades on now, right? We don't get them all, especially the early ones, because we're live here on the show, and you always hear me trying to catch these wicks. Well, look, here it is right here. So we actually missed this one. We get a little bit of a wick there to the short, which turns out to be right. But there's the wick there. We missed that one, but we're all over this right here. This comes back in. We double it up there. Boom to the downside. That's a great out. We're long. That's what we're looking for. Watch those wicks. It doesn't continue. That's an indication for an out. We don't even let it wick here. We take the short early, and then you can see what happens. It just absolutely collapses all the way to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here with these early wicks. It's called the wick off top or wick off bottom. You can actually look that stuff up. I like that for price action.
There we go. A couple of key notes, a couple of key ideas that, as we said, you can implement into your trading, guys. Key levels. Price action is king. So if we get through a key level and it immediately rejects, gives you a great wick, like Sean was just telling you, that is what you're looking for. I hope that helps when it comes to price action trading, guys. Let's continue. Lots to get through this afternoon. We have a few things moving around right now. AVCT, I wanted to mention, little tiny low float stock that we were talking about in the pre-market, popped up as the market was kind of coming down to day lows right when memes and movers was wrapping up. So just keep my eye on AVCT. Another one that's on the low float side of things, guys. So Ocugen had some news today. I was going to tell you a little bit about Ocugen. Ends up being pretty moved back to the downside. I was just looking at Funware. Fun, PHUN, comes out in the pre-market and talks about adding more Bitcoin to their stash, 100, in fact, 4.97 million. I guess we're at 49,000 and change. So PHUN, interesting, still kind of trades along with DWAC, with CB, what is it? CFVI. Rumble as well, but had its own catalyst today, guys, for PHUN.
Well, maybe they should have waited a little bit. They could have bought the dip, man. It's like, well, you know what? Actually, I don't know.
What did they buy at 60,000? I mean,
I actually don't. I don't know. I think I saw a tweet that said the amount that they bought, but I didn't do the math to figure out what price it would have been. But Bitcoin is down today. We just cracked 48,000. So the support that weekend flush, found support right at like 46 and a bunch of trailing sixes. So we're right close to that. And that's why you're going to see, Funware down a heck of a lot more than if you were to look at DWAC. I mean, DWAC's not having a good day, but Funware's having a worse day, I think, because of the fall in Bitcoin. And now that it has that other catalyst, it's right on some support here at 335, or at least close to it, trying to bounce off of support at 335. But if this goes, it's just, you're going to want to make sure, of course, that you're not catching a bid in Bitcoin or spot prices there, because ultimately this is a pretty key level. If it goes, I think it's worth a bit of a short. It is short sell restricted. That doesn't mean you can't short it. That just means you cannot remove liquidity from the bid and get short instantly unless the last print was green, known as the uptick rule, which it's kind of interesting. Like, it's so weird. Like, I say this every time it comes up, but I am used to when that was the way the market was on every stock. Like, years and years ago, you could never, like, if I saw a bid and I wanted to go short in Funware, I could never hit the bid when I first started trading at 42 unless the last print was green on the tape. That used to be a market-wide rule, believe it or not. Now you can just do whatever you want. You can short basically anything unless it's down 10% that day or the next day, which Funware today and tomorrow cannot remove liquidity from that bid because it got hammered.
All right. Yeah, good talk there. I mean, I didn't look at CFVI, DWAC, or Funware today, but I did look at Lucid, and I just want to bring it to everyone's attention because we just did the trade of the day, and it's right back, man. It's right back to 38. So this is another level where I want to let this one break, and I know that's a little silly because last time we let that go, it went all the way against us 65 cents. Unfortunately, we're just doing that price action video for you, things like that. So I didn't want to put on any shares here to short it again, but that would have been a great short back there. Really no technical levels to give you that short, and we don't have a wick off top or anything like that, but we kind of do right there now that I'm seeing this. Kind of right there, a big run and then that, but see, it happens right here as well. So that's that wick and then back to the downside. It's important that you watch these things happen, which is kind of what I'm looking for. we do print and we do chart, purposely every single trade. So sometimes some of these actually don't happen. But you're coming right back in now to 38. So this is $2 and something in the money. How far is it? 212 now in the money off this. You can see the short. Well, you can't now, but you can after this. On the bottom there, we destroyed Apple, by the way. It shows us up $2. Love that name. We'll talk about Apple in a minute. But you can see this is testing 38 one more time. So just as like a PSA here, I won't let this happen again. So we're going to test 38. I'm just going to hold this. You can watch what happens. There is 100,000 shares or so down here, more than that now down here on the downside. So lots of shares available here. And we're going to see if it does break through 38. But if it doesn't, I'm actually going to put a stop order in to get out at 38.20. So I'll get this out. If it does come back in upside here around 38.20, we'll get it out and just say, you know what, it refused 38. I mean, the most we're going to give up here, is going to be that 20 cents, because honestly, if I really did like the 38 smash bottom, then I would smash it. And I mean, then I could get back in. So realistically, the only thing I'm really giving up here is 20 cents by getting out here. So 38.25, let's call it 25. You guys know I like to play around with those quarter prints. So that's going to be an area. And then if you missed the trade of the day, I'll just show you where's my 20-minute chart. Here it is on Lucid. So that's that 38 bottom right there. A nasty wick back on the 6th, so whatever day that was. Monday, right, I wasn't, right. So it was Monday was the disaster day. Friday was actually a little bit of a rebound day, but that's that 38 that held. And I don't know, Neil, I don't know if that's real or not. It's probably not real, that 38. I think
it's 1 mil. Okay, here's the thing. The only reason for the, please show my trades. No, of course it doesn't. We can go back. When Arun was here, and I was trying to get Arun to do the trade of the day, he refused to do it.
Right, remember that, yeah.
But this Lucid, I actually got out of a short, that 42 short, in front of 38. And the funny thing was, it was a complete fluke. Because at the moment, Rivian was hitting the bottom at 100. Hits bottom. Tesla was making a bottom at the same time, and there was a big bid on Lucid. So I was like, just cover it, because the other EV names were at a bottom, and Lucid was right at 38 even. So I just covered it, and it turned out to be the low of the day. If I had known it was the low of the day, I would have been long that day at 38. I wasn't, but it's turned into a big level. It's holding it right now. Obviously, the same thing we talked about being SSR. You're not going to be able to hit that bid, which why sometimes shorting the pop is the way to go. But as it retests it, I mean, I'm long Rivian right now because this bounced and Tesla bounced off of 1,000. And if these break, I expect Rivian will probably break 115, and I'll be out of that long. They're just all moving lockstep at this point. Lucid just happens to be weaker than the rest.
Yeah, 38. So that's the key level right there, 38. I'm going to tweet this out right now. We're in the money, 225. Let's see if it breaks. If not, we're out 38 quarters, Brendo.
Let's go to Facebook. Why don't we? I wanted to mention, or Meta platforms, we should say. Still positive on the day, guys. Trying desperately, in fact, to hold on to some key levels here. This was in the pre-market. So WhatsApp now allowing crypto payments through Novi Wallet in the U.S. So a little bit of positivity for Facebook today. Gave you a nice opportunity there through pre-market highs all the way up to 336, 337. But as I said, yeah, 0.5% left over.
Yeah, look, there's some stocks that are holding up. The big cap, oh my goodness, my daily chart doesn't want to load on the Facebook.
No cap.
Okay, so 15-minute, that'll load up. You guys can see it from here. But like, it's your big cap that's holding up today. Like, it's interesting because if you're looking at the wrong names, then you have no idea what's going on in the broad market. If you're looking at the right names, even the ones that are moving, you might be overreacting to what's going on. It's a strange type of situation, but it's not dissimilar. Like, I think there was a stat. When the NASDAQ did that 4 or 5% pullback, it was something along the lines of 30% of the NASDAQ 100 was down more than 20% at that moment. So it's just, there's outsized moves in some of the higher valuation, relative valuation names, even in like the NASDAQ 100. But Facebook holding up pretty well. If you look for these dip buys, what's ending up happening is you can sort of tell what kind of a market is. When even the strong stocks, when they dip at the open, they're not necessarily cleanly holding levels like this. Like the pre-market low, didn't hold. It's not giving you an obvious entry. It kind of goes through that level. You have to let it break, and then when it reclaims it, that seems like that's a long opportunity. And then there's maybe a dip buy off of there. So just adjusting to the fact that we have a little bit more volatility, even in names like Facebook at the open, is the way to go. Because I'll tell you every single day. it seems like there's a few stocks where you look at the wicks at the bottom and there were great opportunities, but it required a failed breakdown. Like, it didn't just bounce off a level, it broke a level and then immediately reclaimed it, trapped shorts, and then that was the way to get in. The problem with that trade, it's a great setup. It's just the problem with the trade is you have to be on that stock while it's happening. Like, that is not the kind of thing that you're grabbing just by sort of randomly throwing an order out there, because it's breaking the low. Like, you have to know, hey, I'm good with this if it breaks the low of the day. I want to watch the price action and then see if I can't get the reversal. The same thing that you would do on a failed break short, you're doing here, where it's a failed break downside and then you're trying to cash the long. So Facebook, relative strength, but that's true of all the big tech, the big names holding the market up right now. That's why, I mean, it feels worse than it is, right? Like, that 1% feels like more if you're watching the wrong names, or right names, I guess.
All right, we're going to do a belly dance time, because there we are. We are out of Lucid. Out of nowhere, that thing turned on us. So that came all the way down to 38, tested 38.03, something like that. And then it just took off to the upside, and there's that execution. As we said, I got 26s. So a good price, or 27s, a good price out there on Lucid to the upside, ending that $2 win there. So a good trade so far, or not so far, we're out of it now, LCID. The only name that we have on board now is Nubank, and then we still have this Ford short, man. I mean, this is going to look crazy as well. Like, we're still short from the morning. This is like, check out this. I don't know, and you probably won't find anybody with a better print than this today, unless they got somehow 93s. We have 90 short. It did test down here, 1950. That should have been an out again, but I was probably talking to the wife at this point. Show ended, phoned her up. That should have been probably taken out there at 1950, and then it should have been reloaded up here as well. So Ford still in that short, waiting. This is like the last 10%. I don't know. Probably shouldn't be in this one, but if you're looking, why am I in Ford? It just sucks that I didn't reload there. Like, one top, forget about that. That's the open. That's just a kind of a lucky fill there, right? But then right into here, you have some of these wick tops there. You have one top, two top, three over here. Should have been short again. So missed opportunity there on Ford. Then the only other one we have on is this new, which really, man, I mean, what am I long at here? 1026. I mean, I could average in and just take some 21s.
I'm bidding in front of. How do you not bid in front of 10? I'm on the bid, just waiting for it.
I have it now. I mean, I don't. Yeah. So whatever. I mean, I'm going to be bidding more if it does come back down into this like 10, 15 area. Maybe we'll take it. I do think it eventually breaks 10. So I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to take any more. I'm just going to wait for this. If it breaks 10, it breaks 10. If I'm going to get more excited, it's going to be on a 1050 break, and that way we can get back to the upside. So we'll wait for a 1050 break. We are also offering in and around 1050, but I think this goes to sleep now. I could be wrong. We still have an hour and a half left. Let's see what happens with Nubank. Disappointing IPO.
Yeah, DD. Sorry, guys, I'll just jump in here with DD just popping up on volume, apparently working with Goldman Sachs on selling one of their units. So having a pretty good day anyways, but big volume there on DD all the way up to 9.5.
Really? Have we ever talked about DuPont on the show? I don't think so, but why not? This is the problem with Snap News, man. Like, what you want to see when you get a bounce like this is can you find something key? Well, I think you can. It was basically exactly flat on the session. So it's a positive to negative story if it gives it all back. That's usually a bit of a good sign for a support level. And then you also have the previous high, which it broke out, that 78.75. So it comes right back into this target range. Does it find support? And you can tell whether the buyers actually like this news if it holds up here as it comes back in. So it's a kind of thing where usually I like to nibble in and around VWAP if that's a good entry point, and it's not bad. You're risking about 25 to 40 points depending on slippage to that, I guess, level where we broke out, that 78.35 here. So look, I mean, a lot of times when it just says selling unit, a lot of times that can be seen as a positive. I mean, Intel's spinning off Mobileye. It's not changing anything except they're going to get some value out of it by taking it public with an IPO, but this is a little bit different when you're selling. It's just a cash influx, which can show up the balance sheet. And a lot of times, if it's a division in which may or may not be, I suppose, a valuable one. I don't know what division it is, but if it's not a valuable one for them to have, and it's just taking away from their core business, a lot of times it can create some efficiencies for them. So usually it's a lot to dig into, and most of the times as a day trader, it's not as if you're going to sit there and dissect it. So you take a cue from where the bid starts to come back in, right? Like, are there buyers seeing this as value as it gives it back when the algos buy it up, and everyone's like, oh my God, I got bought at the top, I have to start stopping out. Well, where does the buy come back in? Does it support some of these previous prices? Do they like it better than where they were supporting it before, which was essentially right at positive to negative? I finally got I was sitting on the bid here in front of 10 just to literally go long on NU, and I just got a fill at 10.16. So it looks like it is making a test. Let's flip to the stock so you can actually see it. And of course, it's on the New York. I made this mistake on the first day. I'll make it again here, even after I've traded it. 10 even. I don't see crazy size on my level 2, just a few thousand shares out there. But it's pretty simple. If 10 breaks, I'm out. Otherwise, we'll see if it can't bounce. At this point, scalping 10 to 20 cents isn't even that bad of a play here. I'm trying to risk like 25 max from this point, but I left myself some room that I can add probably at 10 and then add at 05, have an average price of 10.10, so really be risking about 15 pennies overall. We'll see what happens. It's really barcoding and not doing a heck of a lot, so it's kind of scalp mode.
Setting up American Virtual Cloud Technologies Incorporated, one we talked about in the pre-market. Little small cap IT services firm, software IT services firm. It's actually a decent float on this, 24 million share float on a 71.5 million market cap. So, I mean, not bad. Sitting at this 160 though, I mean, we came into some levels on the daily chart. Weak stock overall, but there's a few of these little tiny small caps moving around today that are kind of looking like this, setting up for maybe something to happen even tomorrow. So AVCT, they updated their current quarter, just never got below 130 today for this one.
That was crazy. So anyways, it actually just popped up and immediately gave like 10, 15 cents. I only got the 10, but I think it's just going to be scalp mode. I might take a few more shares down at like 16 and go over and over and over and over again. By the way, I know you're just talking about ACT, but I got to show you, we show the winners and the losers here. So you just showed Lucid bouncing off of 38, right, Sean?
Yes, sir.
And Rivian takes out the low of the day. So, I mean,
they're not really.
We'll throw that one out. I don't have anything for throw it out the window, but there was a point when they were kind of following each other. You can throw the crap out the window because that's completely gone now in Gonzo. So nothing to see here. Rivian, I am now out of that while Lucid and Tesla both hold low. Rivian decides to break the low of the day. Go figure.
It's just a day where everything's getting, everything that's, high value, high growth name, high valuation name. Like Lucid getting cracked. I mean, Rivian, you just talked about that. What about one of my favorite stocks right now in the market, Roblox, up to 117 again, but cracked down 6%. I mean, there's been no love for this trade today at all. Roblox back down to the downside here. So I'm not, honestly, guys, right now with this environment, I've talked over and over about this. You have to be raising capital. You have to be raising some cash. There's some great opportunities to get names like Affirm, Roblox, Upstart, Palantir. Some of these names, even a SoFi down to 15, like unbelievable. We've been talking about shorting and longing that name, and every day it seems to have a move in it. Peloton down 11%. Remember yesterday I was like, if there's one name, maybe Peloton needs to be the one to get short there. AMC down 6%. So there's just a lot of names. I mean, even NVIDIA. But what I was getting at is that it's going to be hard to say like, hey, I'd pick up some Roblox right now. I mean, I think it doesn't deserve to be down 6%, but it's also my first Roblox position. My kid's long at 67 or 68, but he has 5 shares. Okay, but we put on a real position down here right before earnings. I just thought it was going to be a good one. It was in that metaverse hype, so on and so forth. Spiked all the way up, man. So if you think about this, Dave, forget about actually this is November 8th, so we're a month into earnings now. You were $80 up to 140. Now you're 117. So still a great month for Roblox, and I would say hold on to a lot of these names, man. I mean, what are you going to do? Get out now? I mean, PayPal had a nice little run back there, and what, you're going to be sad that you missed the top yesterday of like, what, 196, 197? There's plenty of room to go on a lot of these names. As you can see, there it is right there. Yeah, 198, I guess. Actually, now you're down to 192. You're going to have to put up with 2, 3, 4, 5% moves downside. It sucks, but hey, that's the market right now, and you can't enjoy all the wins without being honest with yourself and suffering through some of the losses. Like, we're long AMD $75, So when it goes up to 160, maybe you shouldn't be such a pig and take some out like we've been doing on that. I was getting out 120, 130, and so on and so forth. So on a day like today, maybe you can go shopping if you still like AMD back down here to 140, right? And so that's what it's all about. Looking for key levels, making sure that you were taking some money. Making sure that you were taking some money on the way back up, because let's just be real about it. In 2 months, this stock is up still 40%. That's a great move for such a monster that is AMD, is NVIDIA. is a lot of these names. So, I feel bad for my SoFis, my Teladoc, like positions that we sort of just started. But if you've been in anything here for the last 6 months, most of these names are up, besides those new names to the market. And I'm going to try to stay away. Here goes new again, by the way. I'm still down 11 cents on this trade, but it does look like it wants to get a little jiggy with it again down here at 10.
I'm not sure what's going on with Walmart here, but thank you guys for pointing this one out in the chat. Volume spike. Walmart it's positive on the session now, but it wasn't at the open. It got flushed out like a lot of other names were doing. But nice spike to the upside here for them. I know we have Costco reporting. Another daily chart that doesn't want to load for me, so it's a bit frustrating. But we have Costco reporting and Walmart with a double bottom reversal here. Man, what do you see again here? This is how many symbols are going to have done this right at the open, where it flushes, it breaks a key level, you have one crazy wick, this is it taking out 136, it slams right back in, and then it makes its reversal. So, and this is kind of why we've been talking about it today. It's like, are we going to pull up a name that doesn't have a candle like this? But that's kind of crazy. But Walmart coming all the way back and roaring towards 139. Watch out for this Costco earnings. Oh, come on, GameStop.
I should still be short this stupid
GameStop.
name, but anyways.
In fairness, I would have, no matter what, I was getting out in front of 160 anyways, so there's no, GameStop hit my target, so I never thought it was going to 153. When we sat down, we were like, why is GameStop only 6%? But at the same time, it really wasn't doing anything. It just kept bouncing off of 160, and it didn't feel like it wanted to take out that low. So there you are. GameStop continues to flush. I'm curious what its brethren is doing, AMC.
Yeah, I'm not super happy with that GameStop, because we did have that and we targeted it out, and I shouldn't have even put this in, man. It was $10 in the money, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna take this. How many times are we gonna see this bounce off 160, 161 there? It breaks through 163 on some of these wicks, and we get out, which is absolutely ridiculous. The more and more that I look at this, so man, I can't be happy with that trade, but it is a trade that I made, so I stamped that, and there it is right there. Just unbelievable tank down here on GME, man. I mean, and if you want to talk about, you're looking for some resources or something to use, how about the sticky note? Like, there's going to be, and sometimes the notes are so good. I don't really know what to say here. I mean, it's my own stuff too. We talked about Apple looking to go short. We'll review that in a minute there. GameStop, go short, man. Short if you get back to 170, 172. Well, that's a $20 winner, man. And we had this trade. I'll show it to you in a minute. Watch Lucid bouncing off 40. If it doesn't hold, right? Bang. We talked about that. Take new. Long off open. I mean, that's my biggest trade of the day right there. We talked about Ford. Short in front of 20. DraftKings, short 33. So, I mean, we can review all these. I'll put this in the chat right now, and then we'll see. Neil, you're hitting your keys like crazy over there. Let's put, oops, that's the wrong chat.
So just so you know, I'm literally, when I'm done, I can kind of describe what I'm doing, but I have a lot of shares in a buyout that doesn't move, but I'm covering it a few hundred shares at a time so I can get a gateway that's going to pay me a rebate. It's a bit ridiculous, but it is what it is.
Right,
I'm spread trading it. It's just going to take me a few minutes to get out of it.
Yeah, okay.
That's kind of ridiculous.
That's fine. I can take that. But there's GME. I mean, this is the trade that we're talking about right here. I mean, right there on the sticky note. If you don't believe it, fine. But there it is, the sticky note. We sent that out at 8:30, before 8:30, and we talked about shorting 172, 173. Well, that's these shorts right here. Unfortunately, it breaks that 170 up to 173, and that's where I get ticked, man. 172.85. We got out at a 172.50 there. So yeah, that really does suck for me, man, because you see the move all the way to the downside. But we get wicked out there, we get right back in, and that's why we can put a little bit of a happy face on instead of a frown, because this move all the way to the upside right there, 173, ticks down, and we saw that. This is like one of those wick off tops that we always talk about, right back to the downside. We get short again, and then there's the tank. Wow, man, I just wish, oh, darn it, like that 160, that's going to haunt me that's going to haunt me. This going to haunt me as well, but that one I knew what I was doing. This was just chaos in the mind. That was like the first 2 minutes that opened up. Yeah, exactly. Rest. Yeah, well, whatever. We'll talk about that after. But yeah, like all the way to the upside, man. 173 there. My net was like not great. I had more shares because we did get that double fill. I wasn't expecting that so fast. It just ripped against me. The next thing I knew, I was down a decent amount. So I was like, I got to cover some of this. Good thing we didn't cover it all. Then we got more short all the way back down to the downside. But wow, there goes GME, man. Wow, good move down. And here goes Ford as well, ticking down near the low of the day. So this is another 30-cent win. So Nucor, Ford is all that we have on board right now, but we are looking to get some more shares.
Keep saying Nucor.
Keep saying Nucor, Nubank.
It's fine. You guys know we say, you know it's Nubank. Right?
And then look at,
it's NU.
And then one more here. Those of you that remember what it also said on that sticky note, it said short DraftKings at 33. It's like, where the hell is my short at 33 right now? Like, why am I not short here? Why am I not short there or there or there? These are all 33s all the way down. That's 33.25. That's an easy short, right? Why am I not short? Why am I not short right there or here? Now you're down to 31.70. So there it is, man. The sticky note wins, and I like it. Hopefully you guys keep watching that. But wow, some missed opportunities today. We're still huge. I mean, this is my second biggest day of the month, so really happy with that. But most of that is on Nubank, Neil. New Holdings, to be exact. But
Nubank. It's no New Holdings is a ridiculous name.
That's actually what it's called.
I'm not calling anything New Holdings. It's just Nubank. That's the business is Nubank. So Nubank sounds better. It's easier to say. Just why do they make it complicated? I have no idea.
I don't know. Maybe we can ask Justin when he comes on board, which is coming up very, very soon. I really like, I mean, I know you guys like this segment as well. It's great, and I said this to Justin yesterday and a few more people. It's great to get, you know, other opinions rather than us. Like, we're just charts.
And a different level. Like, it's a different
Exactly,
aspect.
And looking into it, it's great to have Justin on board, so let's throw it over there with Justin and Brendan.
Hey, Lucas is a very busy guy today, so we'll give him a breather here for a second. Yeah, it's been a busy afternoon. Justin Kozach, Day Trade the World marketing guy, back with us as per usual to talk about a few headlines that we were discussing throughout the day. Check him out on Twitter at tradertv. Justin, same as everybody else, no double dots or colons or 3 periods or whatever people are using these days. Let's talk about Nubank, because it was, as we said, crazy action right from the word go when this thing finally got open today. But I mean, this is I was saying this morning, one of the last big IPOs of this year. So we finally got trading, but yeah, not faring well at the moment.
No, I mean, it started off looking really good at 11.25, 25% above the offer price, looking at a $52 billion valuation. But now they've come into the market with 30 other neobanks in the country. But now the IPO is just it's looking a little ho-hum.
Yeah.
It's not looking so great. So I'm kind of wondering, what's the long-term kind of play here? Certainly coming into a market where they have 48 million customers. So fantastic growth over the last 4 years, 10x growth, competing with a bunch of other banks, and really using technology, design, and data science to kind of influence how they offer these services. I wonder, though, if what Buffett is thinking of this, having thrown in $500 million into it, looking at this and thinking, well, maybe they can kind of ride this out a little bit. Maybe the stock will do well towards the end of the day, and certainly, obviously, long term, they want to see how well it does. But I think it's going to be kind of interesting, but a bit of a disappointing start to their trading life.
Yeah, so. I mean, there's Warren Buffett. So Berkshire has $500 million, as Justin was saying. Tencent in this. There's Sequoia Capital. There's SoftBank in this as well. But as we said, kind of chopping around at day lows currently. So we'll see what happens with New Holdings is the actual corporate name, I guess. But Nubank, Brazil neobank, debuting today. Let's go to Instagram, because more coming out of these Senate hearings that happened, I guess it was Tuesday? What day is today?
Today's Thursday, I believe, yes.
So
Thursday?
A couple days ago.
Yes,
Right.
so yesterday.
Yesterday, correct.
Yeah. So it was so long ago. So Adam Mosseri, head of Instagram, testified at the subcommittee on consumer protection, product safety, and data security yesterday on getting his hand slapped a little bit or a lot, depending on where you are on that side of the conversation. Senator Richard Blumenthal coming out swinging, saying that these new safety features that Instagram announced on Tuesday were too little too late and not enough to ensure the safety of young users on the platform. I watched the testimony. It was about 2 hours and 45 minutes, almost 3 hours, just stopping a little bit shy of 5 o'clock. And there were a number of things that they, a number of concessions that Adam Mosseri had come to the table with, including that they want to create an industry body to regulate regulate the impact of social media on young users. Certainly a welcome idea, something that many senators on this subcommittee and other committees as well have been asking for quite some time. Of course, that idea was they kind of balked at it a little bit. They said, if that's the case, do you feel that that's something that you guys should regulate, or should it be overseen by lawmakers? So there's certainly some contention as to, are they going to continue to self-regulate as they have, which unfortunately hasn't proven to be very successful, or will they receive a lot more input? So they're looking to see if they can get industry involved, but also ensure that lawmakers are involved in that, and get input from civil society and parents as well. So that's going to be kind of interesting. They also learned that Senator Marsha Blackburn's staff had set up an account, like most other senators, and they found that within an hour of setting up this account, that they were being targeted with content related to illegal drug use, dietary sort of alteration, if you want to call it that, body image stuff. So there's a lot of interesting things that are happening there. Instagram Kids was kind of the big one. That's Instagram Kids has been really a controversial project in that they want to bring younger children onto the platform between the ages of 10 and 12. So a lot of people feeling that, that this is really, really not a good idea, given the amount of content that's on there that could be, is a little bit eyebrow raising even if you're an adult. The Tech Transparency Project released a report revealing the sale of drugs on the platform was actually relatively easy to find just by searching by Xanax, for example. So Instagram getting a lot of heat for making this content still available, despite the fact that they're saying they have over 40,000 people doing human content review and spending $5 billion with the B on this sort of on managing this content and making sure it doesn't appear to people who are most vulnerable or people at all. So lots to be done there, and certainly lots to the story.
So what were the takeaways? I guess to kind of sum it up, like where does this go from here?
You said this morning that they always come away with a lot of homework, and they certainly have a lot of homework. They've got a lot of work to do in terms of cleaning up the type of content that's available. They certainly have a lot of work to do in terms of clarifying what things haven't been done, have been done. I think from here, where Instagram needs to go is to start to release these parental safety tools and controls much more widely. They're targeting a March of 2022 release. Hopefully they can get those things out in the market and start to really invest a lot more time in content moderation, and really investing a lot of time in ensuring that those who are using the platform, regardless of their age, are being kept safe, and that there is transparency in the type of content that's being pulled off of their platform, which, from what we understand, or from what I saw from the testimony, was pretty eyebrow raising. So a lot more on this story. Certainly we'll be following a lot more of this over.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess, Q1 of next year, if they do come through with some of these things that they're promising. Let's quickly touch on Amazon here, because, the whole market coming down to day lows right now, but Amazon included, back to day lows. Facebook just going red, or Meta, guys, just going red on the day. So tell us about this fine for Amazon.
Right, so Amazon, or rather Italy's competition authority, bringing the heat, much like today's jerk chicken catering.
You didn't like that either, huh? Brad wasn't a fan of that.
I saw the chat and thought it was hilarious. I loved it, caught me by surprise for the first half second, and then quickly adjusted by taking off the sweater. So Italy's competition authority raising or fining Amazon about 1.3 billion US, or about 1.1 euros, for abusing their market position and pushing third-party sellers to use the companies fulfilled by Amazon. So I did a little bit of research into this throughout the day, and it costs FBA costs the seller $39.99 a month, and that also includes fulfillment fees based on package size, weight, as well as storage. So anybody who's part of FBA can also participate in Amazon Prime. So if you don't have FBA, you can't be part of Prime, which means that you can't participate in things like Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Prime Day, that sort of thing.
The big days.
So really you're put at a disadvantage by not being part of FBA. This competition authority is saying, well, because of that, you've made it a lot harder for other retailers who can't afford that or don't want to pay it, made it a lot harder for their products to be discovered and thus sold, and therefore impacting your revenue. So their competition authority basically slapped them on the wrist and said, we're going to fine you for it. So now it's going to be interesting to see, when we talked about this earlier today, how is this going to impact what's happening in North America as well as other parts of Europe?
Yeah.
Is the same thing happening? So, and chances are, if it's happening in Italy, it's probably happening elsewhere.
Not the first. I'm sure it won't be the last for Amazon. What was it, 3 billion?
1.3 billion US.
I mean, it's Amazon, so
all in a day's work.
cost
or an
of
hour.
doing business, I guess.
Exactly.
On one sense. He is Justin Kozach, guys. Check him out at TraderTV. Justin, let him know on Twitter what you would like to know more about. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Guys.
Yes, sir. And another great segment. And look, I'm just going to say it right now. That jerk chicken was absolutely delicious.
Yeah,
I was all over it. At times, it can be difficult when you're doing something spicy like a caterer.
Good.
But so I mean,
Prad. I mean, I think
was
Prad
acting like
had it the wrong way.
he
Prad
liked
it.
He liked
Yeah,
it.
he didn't. It was great.
Because I was going to get upset because it was pretty
great.
solid. It would be easy for a caterer to just be like, I'm not going to make it very spicy to please everybody, but they put some legit.
But
Like I'm not
chicken. Like I mean, it's supposed to be spicy.
Yeah, it wasn't. Look, this is not like if you go down whether you're in Kingston and you get something out of a barrel on the side of the road. Like that's the real deal. But this wasn't that. It'll never be the caterer. But I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with DWAC today. And if you watch the morning show, you know why. I always say this, like you can't be short if you're long, you can't be long if you're short. And even though this was a good break when it took out the opening range high, nice little scalp trade right into the high of the day, 63.5 into 65. My plan for the morning, if you follow the morning show, was fade DWAC on the pop and roll trade. So I don't get that because I went to the long trade. And then look at the short that it gave you. It gave you the short here at the open. It gave you the short when it failed to get through the pre-market high. It gave you the short when it retested the bottom end of that range, which gives you essentially the same exit point, 63.5. And now you're breaking low of the day. And thank you in the chat for pointing out, I forgot who it was saying they're in DWAC. And I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on with DWAC? Oh, that's right. Another thing breaking the low of the day because why not? So all the way back into 58. My daily doesn't want, there we go. When you get through this level, well, it's not there yet. But if it gets through this 56.5, 57 support that it had in here in yesterday's action, like there's not a heck of a lot till you get down to 52. Still scalping this NU, by the way. It's just the only thing, whoops, I did it again. I just typed in NASDAQ because everything I think is NASDAQ. Shout out to our friends at NASDAQ Canada. But NU, of course, being on the New York, it's just bouncing back and forth. 15 minutes useless on an IPO. Was able to scalp again, 10, trying to get 15, 20 cents on this in front of 10.50. And I'll just keep sitting on the bid at 10.16. These wicks down to 10.01 didn't happen. Like it's really bottoming out here at 10.15, and that's been the low of the day. So as long as it respects it, there's a scalp trade to be had there. You're either doing that or you're trying to catch a bottom on a falling sword. Trying to catch something which might break back out, which I was looking at Coinbase, and look what Coinbase was doing. Almost down 10%, barcoding off the bottom, 259 low, 262 high. It's in this tight range for over an hour, and I'm thinking to myself, man, if Bitcoin makes a bottom, retakes like 48, we can get a breakout at 262, clean breakout trade, maybe comes back, not to VWAP, that's $7. We had a couple of bucks into 265, and then that retests the low of the day. So there's really nothing that's sort of booming out here. Otherwise, you're shorting things through the low. You couldn't get the break on Lucid again.
Here it comes right back up.
Yeah, the 39 break you couldn't get. It's hard when it's SSR. That's why you got to short the pops, right, Sean? And it's like 38 you couldn't get. So either of these recover, and I can hopefully get a 262 breakout in Coinbase.
That's why we didn't get the break. I mean, I wasn't even.
It's SSR.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when it's short sell restricted, and you want to. That's why the rule exists, really, to be honest with you. It's so that active traders cannot hammer the bid on a depressed stock. So it's harder for you to get that short position, which makes it pretty good when it does go. But I'm watching Coinbase. If Bitcoin makes a bottom, I'm looking 262 break. At the rate this market is going, I'm not sure I'm going to get it. But hey, we can always hope. Another scalp out now you almost have me saying Nucor, Sean.
That's right.
Nubank. Another scalp out in Nubank. So I'm going to just probably sit around doing this, 10, 15, 10, 16, get some out when it goes like to the 25 to 20, 30, and get some out when it goes 35 to 40, get some out when it goes 45 to 50. Maybe it makes the breakout at 10.50. That's probably a bigger trade into 11. Looks like that could be coming soon.
Yeah, so I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm just going to wait for that big move up so that I still have something on. I know Neil holds something, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for this 50. So hopefully we can get back up. I mean, I could have been doing the same thing. I should have been probably buying these 15s. I mean, that's about as obvious as it gets. But right now, we'll see if it goes back up. I'm waiting in the 40s to kick a piece out right now. And I'm also watching Ford, and I'm watching Apple, and I was just, you know what, I should look at Hut again, actually, to be honest with you. No, it wasn't Scotch Bonnet, my friend.
What?
Yeah, someone's talking about that. He was really sweaty there about Scotch Bonnet. But look, this just happened, by the way, as I sit here and watch Lucid. Look at that. That's that wick off top. That actually happened. So there's my favorite trade again. Watch the price action, right? Not this one. This, I don't think this happened. It's this one here. Look, up, 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 up in 3 minutes. So this is each a minute chart. Someone asked also, and I think Neil answered it while I was doing the price action video there, but it was a minute chart.
I only put it in the chat though. That's
okay. That's fine. Yeah, makes sense. So hopefully you guys got that answer. But most of the stuff that I look at is going to be on the minute chart. So I know Bradley Taylor's asking a few things on there. So is Sam. So is a few other people. Everything I look at really to make my trades is going to be a 1 minute chart. I look at a 20 minute to get the last couple days and see trends and see if we're missing levels like that 38 level that we identified here on this name. But there it is. Look, 1, 2, 3. There's the wick high, and then boom, all the way down. Look, I'm not going to sit here and honestly, I could show you that I have that trade on right here when that happened, boom, to the downside. There's other people out there, and this is not to throw shade at people, but maybe some of you have actually paid for courses and things like that where they'll take nice pictures of these charts and then show you and say, hey, look, this is what you're supposed to do. I'm doing it live. We're all doing this live, right in front of you. So will we miss trades? Yes. Is it easy? I mean, could I put a book out or something or whatever out, some lessons, of course we could, and charge for it, of course. That's not what we're doing. We're here for absolutely for free. Hope you guys enjoy this. And there's just another example right there of that. And then that's kind of, I'd like to see at least 3. So that wick bottom there doesn't really count, but this is what I mean. Lucid today, 15%. You got to find stock that is doing volume. This is going to push a Hyundai today, so that's nice. That's what you're looking for on Lucid.
Someone asked a good question about, I don't mean to chuckle every time we say wick off top, but you can actually look it up. We're not making it up. It's an actual technical term. It's just always kind of amusing. But the question here was, does it have to be a green candle? No, that type of a candle, or whether you're talking about the price action breakup, that works in both directions, right? You just picture the reverse. It does work for a bottom or a top for those types of reversals. Someone was just asking in the chat, what about AMD? Well, I can tell you a few things about AMD. 135 has already proven itself to be a good holding price. You have some support at the 50 period. You also then had a previous breakout at 128. So there is a definite cluster of support approaching for this particular name. There tend to be, usually most people have in their long term like a bucket of things that you're not ever active on. For me, that's Apple. In the chip space, I think if you look for a name that is something usually not you're active with, I would say AMD would normally be in that kind of a category. The way it moves now, I understand you're going to want to ring the register. It's difficult to do set. I think NVIDIA is more in the ring the register from a valuation standpoint and then be more active with it than AMD. But it's looking real good around 135 for a bit of dip. I don't know if we get there. I mean, tomorrow's going to be obviously a bit of a big day, Friday, to see how we round off this week. The other thing that's on my radar here as we're looking for things that are moving, Tesla. These wicks are ridiculous, but Tesla, its 50 period is right at that 1,005 mark. It is just sitting on the precipice here, bouncing off of 1010. So, it's one of those stocks. I mean, if it breaks 1,000 here, that could get very, very interesting. But, I've missed out on 1,000 levels before. I just kind of feel like if you get a chance to go long at 01 and 02 in front of the even, the risk to reward late in the day is pretty good. Maybe not something I want to have on at 350, but there's still plenty of time in the day for us to get a bounce off that level. The reason I don't want to take it off of 1010 here is, well, what if it doesn't break this range? This is a 1020 top here, kind of like that bottom range that Coinbase is in. This is a 1020 top. If I take the long, it's $12 here from 1,012. It's $12 to the evens, then slippage, and then your first resistance is $8 away. I really don't like that risk to reward, and that's why you got to sit out some trades like that. And to be honest, sometimes the best thing you can do is not make a trade. That's why I'm scalping NU here. Nubank, I'm looking for that Coinbase. It doesn't want to break back out. Tesla doesn't want to test that 1,000 just yet. So you got to sit on the sidelines and wait for something to move for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm talking to people in the chat. I'm sending some messages to our team here as well. Apple right now looking. Are we going? Was that called a? Sure, let's go to Brandon. What's up?
A couple of little ones just popping up once again, guys. Context Therapeutics, big volume spike here, today highs. They're expecting some data, apparently aftermarket today on a cancer treatment that they're working on. So big buy big buy order just went through there through 7. For CNTX, there's also AVCT, the one we started with, back to day highs once again.
Yeah, you brought that to our, first of all, this NU, like what was that? That only went to 38, so I'm going to put, I don't know, I don't even want to put an offer there. I'm just going to wait, man. If this breaks through 10, we'll do that. But AVCT, Neil, up to 182, it looks like, 183 or so. Right now, AVCT looking to take out new highs. Again, you put the wrong extension, you're screwed. Yeah, no, I have it up right here. It's 183. It's approaching that $2 mark. That 183 is the day high. So we just took out $1.75. Obviously, that's a key level right there. AVCT. Okay, here's a daily chart. This looks nice. This is pretty interesting because we've already tested.
It has a big level at 2. I remember that from this one.
Right, exactly. So that's the thing. So we'll see what the level is there. Let me see if I can scroll down here to see 2. No, I can't. I don't have it yet. But yeah, when it gets up to 2, we'll have another look. But I like this because there's already been price discovery up here. So we do know that there's buyers and sellers. It's traded up here. So although the volume has been nothing, we do know that it has the legs to get back to 3, something like that. I don't know what brought this thing down here so aggressively over the last little while. But you're bouncing off the dollar. Remember, when stocks, and I apologize, I didn't hear the news there, but another catalyst is when a stock gets to $1, they have a certain amount of time before they're going to get delisted down to OTC markets or wherever they're going to go. So sometimes they reverse split, or there's different techniques they can use to get.
These guys updated their financials.
Right.
So I went like 2 for 4 because the pre-market trade stopped out. Shorted off 150, 1, 2, 3 times. Third time was not a charm. We lost it. Then I walked away from it because I'm like, well, you got to wait for it to get to $2, and it just never got there. And like, I mean, already showed you guys the 50 period in this consolidation at 2. So we're going to be all over that if it gets to 2 even. Tesla just broke 1010, so it's headed down to 1,000. But that CNXT looks pretty interesting as well. I just put in for some, come on, CNTX. Yeah, of course. Get that symbol wrong every single time. But I just put in some pay for shorts for this name.
Again, NZ.
No, I got it right here. It's just I'm flipping over and over, and you flip too fast.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
There it goes.
Now it works. It just did a failed breakout at 7 is what I was going to say. So that same setup. Now, Brendan just brought this to our attention. So obviously that failed break, I didn't see the level 2 when it came up here, but it looks like it's a rejection of that 7 even breakout. AVCT, $2, we'll wait for that, but Tesla 1,000 is coming pretty quickly. I like this 7 for a bit of resistance. The volume is tapering off here. It gives you an obvious level to play off of. I think there would be some longs that might be trapped. The spread is a couple of pennies here, so we understand there will be slippage on this stock. But CNTX, it was cheap to get the short, so I'm going to take advantage of it because it's actually moving. Just happy to find something that's actually going.
I know, that was. I mean, I still think we have lots going, but yeah, it's nice to see a little runner there for those of you guys that are trading that. Yeah, good look up to $2 on that one. We can take a quick look at ISIG. I believe that was another name today, 24.75. Dancing, I guess. Oh, come on, charts. There it is. Okay, so up on the day, big time movement, man. Wow, this name really was $5 2 days ago. Wow. If any. Oh man, and I can't just keep saying this over and over again because everyone has to trade their own book and stuff like that. But like, if you're long anywhere like sub 20 or something when a stock makes this kind of move, man, we talk about this all the time, and watch out if you're sort of sensitive here because there's a pig there and something's going to happen to him off camera. Thanks, Rob, for that one. But you got to watch out because you don't want to get slaughtered in this. You're right at a drop spot right here. I didn't pay for shorts on this name. I assume we have to. I think we had Lewis on this morning. I know.
There were 11 cents a share.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No. That was
something else. Something was 9 cents. He said. It doesn't matter. Anyways, let's just whatever the price is here. I think maybe I can get the pay for shorts in quickly. I don't know if I'd do it now. It's 312, but watch out for this 24 even break. I mean, this is 24.15. It's resisted that over and over and over again. Like, just be careful, because if you're long anywhere in here, look, halt, 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 halt. Some halts up here. It's been relatively calmed down now, but you break that 24, man, I'm telling you, this probably halts to the downside. People are going to panic. You're going to get a stop out somewhere around 21, which would halt the stock, because, again, it's more than a 10% move in however long this takes, probably seconds. So just be very, I don't know, maybe a minute. Just be very, very careful down here. I just want to tell people, if you are long ISIG or looking to maybe make a banger trade right now, I think the short right here, 24 and change, looks good. But if I was long, that would definitely be a spot. I'd take out 3/4. Like, whatever I had, I would take the majority of it out, because you know what I'm going to miss? Like, if I get out here at 24, I mean, I maybe get back in if it breaks above 25, 26 again, something like that. So worth the risk. Put the money in your pocket, have a Merry Christmas, and then come back to this maybe when it gets back to 17 or 18. So ISIG, just sort of a PSA here, public service announcement. Watch out if it breaks 24.
Yeah, I just got to fill in. Of course, just as I was looking at AVCTs, it popped to 188 and pulled back. CNTX gets a first fill for me, so I got to move over to that name for you guys. Quick little pop up, like I said, like in front of that 7 even area. This lower high is actually 95. There's an offer for 5,000 shares at 87 right now. I got filled at that same price. I'll give it to 7. Like, I don't have to give it to the high of the day. I can just pop a stop in front of 7 even, and if it breaks that price, we'll get out of it. I want to be able to add to the position, maybe even a little bit lower, like in the mid 80s if it consolidates some more, and then just see if we have a nice little quick failure there. So while we're doing that, another one that we just, I mean, it's over and over again. Nubank. I almost said Nucor again. Another fill down here at that 16. I just keep getting 16. I know it goes to 15, but I keep getting 16s. This is the first time that it actually looks like it wants to test lower. So at some point, all this scalping here can result in a losing trade through $10, which is certainly a possibility. So we'll see what happens. It's finally moving. I'm happy to see it move, because it does open up the opportunity for it to shake some people out. And then if it holds 10, you could get that bigger move that I know you're anticipating potentially, Sean. So CNTX in short in front of 7 even. AVCT, let's see if it can get to $2. And reloaded in Nubank once again at 10.16.
Yeah, I put a bid down there as well. So let's see where it goes on that. There's the 24 break right now, and it doesn't look like it's super epic right now. So maybe we're wrong on that one. We'll wait to see what happens now, but I thought the 24 break would cause a little bit of a downward slide here. So there's the 24 break. If you got it, maybe you got out. Good, nice trade. You'll get out there at 24. Now let's wait to see what happens. Let's revisit this in 5 minutes, and I believe we'll be right. But we'll wait to see on that one now as it's going. Thank you again for all the support on the show. People saying crypto's about to die. Let me show you first of all.
Die is a strong word.
Yeah, but die is a strong word. Yeah, death is means an eventual end, so I don't think that's happening. But I do think here, let's go back. I was looking at Chainlink, by the way. I like Chainlink. I might add that to the portfolio here. But I mean, these are all the names I'm looking at, and I made this background black. I thought it would be easier for you guys to see. It may not be, but you could see here the only name that's up over a week is Polygon. And that's Matic, and I'm in this name. Should have sold it. It was up to 255 or something the other day. Back down to 210, so Matic continues to be a problem. But if you look at this, man, it's been nasty. Assemble protocol. Some of these are just basic ones. These aren't the big ones. The ones I'm really concerned with here. Bitcoin down 6%, down 17% on the week. Ethereum down 10 on the week. Solana, a big one that I really like, man. But again, nibbling right now, down to 180, down 20% on the week. I'm going to sneeze in a minute. Cardano, the same thing. I mean, everything is the same. 16, 20,
you come to me.
16.
No, if you have to sneeze, that's.
No, I think I resisted it. All the way to the downside there. The force is strong with this one. 29, Avalanche, another name here. Shiba Inu down 20. Anyways, there's really been no room to hide is kind of what we're getting at. And we'll just wait to see what the story is with crypto as, we may be approaching that crypto winter, man, which is actually real winter right now. So we'll see if that's coming through. But there's ISIG actually holding up okay.
Real winter.
Yeah, we can look at. Yeah, let's look at.
Oh, by the way, I should do this. We'll ring the register. As Rob was mocking me, I literally had something in my eye. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm in the trade, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say next, and then I got something in my eye, and Rob is like mocking me over there. Come on, man, it's not fun. But it seems to be better now. But I did scalp out a couple of times the CNTX, short in front of that 7. We got some shares at 91. We initially took some shares there. Below 90 to 87. We'll take some out in front of 70 to quickly get that scalp trade. And again, in front of 7 even, you're risking 10 to 15 pennies to try and make like 20. And there's nothing, unless you're shorting something at the low of the day or you have a big long in this that you're just scaling out of, sometimes you have to trade inside of the range to make your bones. I wish AVCT would go to 2, but wishing isn't going to get me anything. Well, maybe it does, but I don't think it's actually going to. But 7 even breaks, I'm going to be out of this trade. I'm not holding it to the high of the day. This is just letting you know my stop order is limit price to 725. That's why it's up there. My stop is at 7. It'll trigger at 7. I'm just limit up to 25. I'm not going to get slipped that far. There's size at 04. There's size at 07. So it's not going to move too badly. Tesla still does not want to get to 1,000. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we've gone down 1,007, the market made another leg to the downside, and still you are not testing that low of the day. I really only want it in front of like 1s and 2s. I'm not trying to be $10 away from the bottom in Tesla, not the way it's barcoding here.
Yeah, no man can test Tesla. I did dump 20% of the position at 10:20 break. I actually didn't tweet that out. It was busy this afternoon, but we did get out of a little bit of Tesla. I really feel like we could be in for a little bit of a rough ride here over the next couple of days. So we'll see. Tomorrow, Friday, we all know what happened the last couple of Fridays. So let's wait to see, including Black Friday, which was the sale there, and a lot of stock were on sale that day as well. Okay, HUT. So another name here. Again, just been destroyed in this crypto destruction from 7. I mean, I don't want to say destroyed again, but from 17, not nice, down to 9. So I guess that's pretty bad. And again, nothing wrong with the business. Just what's wrong with them is they're mining. And if they're going to hold all these altcoins and things like that, then yeah, they are going to get hit. I have been buying HUT, obviously in Toronto. It's same symbol, but just with TC. I just bring this up. I mean, everything's going to be the same. So HUT 8. HUT 8 mining. Our friend Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary's back, what, the 28th, Brendan?
Yeah, he's
Yep, so I'm pretty good with numbers sometimes. The 28th, we'll have Kevin O'Leary back. We'll talk about the year end, and then I'm going to put him on the spot, get him to give me a pick of his. So maybe we'll have to email him and tell him I'm going to do this. Well, that's not putting on the spot. I'm going to put him. We're not going to tell him this.
He's an active man. I mean,
that's fine. Well, he'll know. He'll know some names. We're going to get his play for 2022. I give you the SMH for 2021. That's up, what, 100% or something, or 50%, sorry, from 200 to 300. We gave you PayPal in 2020. I'm going to decide what 2022 is going to bring, but we're going to also ask Kevin O'Leary, so join us back then. And I just came up with this thought about that because he did talk about HUT 8. But unfortunately, when he was here, was back when HUT 8 was like around here, breaking out. So we'll find out if he still likes this name. That's going to be Kevin O'Leary back on with us December 28th, which is now still 19 days away. So a little bit of time going there. NVIDIA, AMD continue to still drop. My last buy on NVIDIA was 291. I don't think we get to that. Oops. I don't think we get back to there. I think that was during Black Friday sale. We got some NVIDIA down here, 291. Yeah, whatever this day was. December 6th. No, that's Monday, so it was before. It must have been this day here. November 29th, I think is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. 291 is the last NVIDIA trade. Looks like we're going to test that again, man. We could see a very, very bad day tomorrow, guys. Just get ready for it, especially if the NASDAQ closes on the lows, man. Not going to be a nice one tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've only ever sold Tesla once, and I'm not doing it again through 1,000. But I do feel like if it finally makes that leg through, like the next time we take 1,000, we talked about the first time I think we talked about 900 being a spot. That could be a good place for a swing. Just sort of thinking ahead of myself. Oh goodness, are you kidding me? That AVCT, goodness gracious, Neil. That AVCT, it looked like it was breaking out through the top. It just made a run at the high of the day, so it just did this. I'm like, oh, it's about to go to $2, and it just immediately slammed the brake. So even the small cap that's running, it can't seem to get going. At least that means CNTX hasn't stopped me out in the final third of that trade. Like I said, we scalped the first 2 points out. It's looking like it wants to break that 7. I'm out if it breaks 7. It still has a chance to break out at that 725 level. Just quickly going back to the daily chart, there's not a heck of a lot here to see. I mean, you do have what would seem like a little something at 750, 760, and then if it got really out of hand, like 830 or so would be a bit of a level, but that's a ways away. I'm not sure we got the strength to get there. Brendo?
Market kind of weak here, guys. Back to day lows. Here's BioNTech, BNTX, trying to roll over as well. 286 was a bit of an issue for it. Didn't get above 287 there, but looking like it might want to test lows as well if you missed it. Early on today, there it is. The FDA making boosters available in the U.S. for 16 and 17-year-olds as well. So BioNTech, Pfizer actually holding up a little bit better than BNTX.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like Pfizer, I guess, I mean, somewhat unsurprising, I should say, is the word I want to use. Pfizer up that 1.7%, but BNTX, because I hit NASDAQ, it's force of habit. I literally just type NQ every single time I put a symbol in. I don't know what it is. But BNTX getting very close to its recent support at 278, which, that's going to be the level to watch, obviously, for tomorrow when you start thinking about some future trades here. You break something like this, and then you got runway. You got runway down at 265. And you don't want to trade things necessarily inside of the range unless you have a fair idea there's going to be liquidity in the scalp trade for you. BNTX is not too big of a mover right now. It's not doing a ton of volume, but you watch out for that level and it could get pretty spicy. It looks like CNTX is now not threatening to stop me out once again. And our new bank, which as usual, Neil, is on the New York. New bank, right back to that 1016. I was on the offer, very, very close to getting, looking like it was going to fill here again at the 25 and that 36, and now it's retesting low. This does feel like it's breaking 10 at some point today. I'll probably try scalping the short through at 10 even. There's no SSR, so you can hit it. We did have to pay for shorts. Like locates aren't free on an IPO. We're paying about 2.5 cents a share here at Day Trade the World, which, to my recollection, is pretty cheap for a new issue. Usually it's like 5 or 6 cents a share. This one only 2.5 cents, but it's also only a $10 name.
I'm not impressed. Look at Lucid. We'll put this stock in the gates of hell. And I mean, we'll do like a little Valley Girl thing here because I am basically like,
oh my God.
Down to 30. Oh, I timed that one pretty good. All the way down here to 37 right now, just getting clapped to the downside. I mean, this is just unbelievable. We got out at 38. Like, that looks a little silly right here, but I love this chart. I learned a lot today just from this stock by itself, like bidding, noticing these drastic moves down, man. Also talking about today being a negative day. I hit that for you guys at 8:30. I said, not feeling it today, should be a negative day. We talked about that. Make sure you join us live, 8:30. Although tomorrow, Varun will be here. I'm taking another vacay. But you can see this one all the way to the downside, man. 37. Wow. Oh, man. Like we're having a great day. I'm really happy with the performance today. We have Ford in the money now, 30 cents and still going down. That Nubank just chilling out. That was a monster IPO. That HCP, I mean, was an absolute monster. But to still have this on board would be huge. And I don't even want to see what the GameStop is up to. Okay, nice bounce off 151, but still, we had this
151.
Short. Yeah, like we had this short. And I give up the ghost at 163. Whatever, man. I mean, I'm happy to have the day. I'm happy to be here and happy to trade, but still, I'm up on GameStop, and I don't have any negative names today. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't have one negative trade. So, and some negative trades, yes, take that back, but no negative names today. So all is good, man. Apple, Ford, GameStop, HCP, Lucid, Nubank, all positive. That's 7 for 7 today. So pretty happy with it. But at the same time, perfection is something that I try to strive for. And we're never perfect in this game. That's the one thing that you're never going to be trading. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to have all the right outs, anything. Every single trade you make, there's always a few different things you could have done. So It's just all about learning, guys. What's up, Brendo?
Unless you're cheating. Algos. I know algos that have done
but
shady.
That's not necessarily.
Algos that have done shady things. Like, remember, if you ever read Flash Boys, if you understand, like, a lot of those programs that were front running and making money, they were literally winning every single day with like 99.9% win rates because they were doing. And if something has a win rate like that, then you kind of know there's something going on there. Like, you've got an edge that is an edge. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. We'll throw it to Brendan now.
We talked about that DD story a little bit earlier, guys. More on that. It's Advent and Carlyle. Thank you. Advent and Carlyle apparently considering a bid for DuPont's $12 billion mobility and materials unit, guys, for DD.
Okay, there you go. The nice little update. We know who's interested now. Not that I know who that is. But there was a question. Day trading mom. Okay, here we go. Yeah, because I was asking what you meant about Docu, whether you want to hold a swing short. I mean, DocuSign has a bit of a range here today. So there's a big difference between you're short at the low of the day. You're short maybe when it broke the 152 support. You're short at the top, which you probably can get away with that because you're deep in the money. But on the hourly, the 8 is below 21. So you're basically looking at a moving average cross on Docu on the daily. Look, I'm not going to have those averages up, nor am I going to put them up there. Do you know what your risk is? And again, you're probably, for me, the way I look at this, when they got the earnings and got absolutely slammed, and to be perfectly honest, we thought there would be a bit of a long opportunity at some point on DocuSign, but when they got slammed down, you've had support at that 162. So the whole theory would be, after it made its flush down, it then failed to break out here today, broke a key support at 152, and the momentum is back to the downside in a weak market. I do not like equity shorts overnight. So personally, my answer usually is no, and it would be in this particular case. But if you were looking for momentum just strictly based on the price action since the earnings have come through, yeah, it's put in some bearish signs for you, and the overall market's doing it. But there's a big difference whether, where your entry might be, or if you're shorting it off the low here, which is probably 10% away from your high. It's a little bit far away. Does it have a chance maybe to get back down, break 140, give you a low at 130 even? That's probably good risk to reward, but it's a lot different when you have overnight risk. Overnight risk means that your stops are not valid in a lot of cases, depending on your liquidity and how you can execute. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but the momentum is 100% with you. Shorting it at this price as opposed to maybe catching it in those 50s, or when it failed to break out from that recovery price at 60, that's a much, much different story. Timing does matter in the market because it can affect your price. This AVCT does not want to break up to $2. You can't force the action. It doesn't want to go. And CNTX, for all the movement that it has, it's now it is just sitting inside of this range, what's going 7 to 670. I guess I could have got back in short at 670 and been getting out over and over again, but I just don't want to do it. It's holding the top end of the range. So I don't want to be fighting this thing. If it breaks 7, I'm just going to have to get out of it. And we're just sitting in NEU right now. With Tesla now $5 away. That's getting awfully close.
Yeah, I'm now glad I sold that 1020 odd Tesla, but I'm not planning on buying that back for a little bit lower. So we'll wait to see it. I'm just raising cash, right? We talk about that all the time. I logged in and I was up 800% on Tesla. So I took some out. That was the only thing I sold today. TSLA at 1020 up 100%, or 800, 100, up 800% on Tesla. I bought it in the doldrums of 2020. So that's why. But okay, so it doesn't matter where you got it from. It's about what you think it's going. So right now we're still looking at GameStop. And on that note, I think it's about time I just get out of Ford. It bounced off too many times down here. 50s, 50s, 50s. The market's absolutely puking. Remember, you have CPI tomorrow, so that's an important thing to have come through. So we'll see where that goes, man. Inflation could be hot tomorrow, and who knows where the market's going to go. I think that's part of the selling today. People nervous about tomorrow. So that's why NVIDIA and like I was saying, some of these high-flying names that people have gotten cash out of, winning trades, they're now realizing those wins. There is also tax selling losses, so there are going to be some of these trades that are just horribly down that people are getting out of to take the loss to offset some of the tax gains in some of these other names. So you may see, that's why you see names that are getting crushed, like a SoFi, like a Palantir, like that. We know there's hedge funds in these names. We know there's tons of money in Palantir. We know that, man. But it's going to keep getting, look here. It's going to keep getting hit, I believe, anyway. Oh, it's down to 19 again. Okay, I talked about that this morning, buying these 19s, and again, missed it, but not a bad opportunity right now. There's a lot of these names getting hit into tax season selling, so don't forget about that as well. That's just another sort of background thing that's happening right now. For a lot of the stocks that have been beat down the last little while, people are going to realize their losses and get back into them Jan 1. You watch. Going to be a big pop in some of these names Jan 1. So raising capital, get back into those. What's up, V?
Nick Dubs.
Hey Sean, and we have a super chat for Neil from Nick W. What do you think of AVCT for a possible swing? AVCT, Neil, any thoughts?
Nick Dubs back with the super chat. So we kind of went over this. Look, you got this $2 obvious resistance level on the stock. Restructuring financials is actually not a bad catalyst for it to the upside. So I think it's going to move on its own here at least. Here's what I'll say. If you got 150s, if you're talking about holding it, I kind of like the notion, because if you've got it at that previous support level, 150, I'll kind of show you what's been happening at that price. Like, it actually has a consolidation and a bounce off of this. It has all of this chop zone from 144 up to 165. So that's sort of like this nice channel of support that even if it starts to fail, you've got yourself a nice little price range, even if you had it just sort of in front of it. If you're talking about going long at 187, when I just showed you $2 is where the resistance level is, I mean, it's like, well, if that's going to be a 2 break, you kind of can maybe still take a 2 break tomorrow. You might be able to take a 2 break and get in and out for a scalp win at 4 o'clock to like 4:15 or 4:20, or if you can aftermarket trade, by the way. Some people can't. I mean, we don't, but some people can't. Not everybody can. But I didn't say 4:20. I said 2:20. Oh, I said the time 4:20. Never mind. Okay, I said the time 4:20, so that's why you did it, Lucas. Fair enough. No, but that it matters where you got in, right? So long right here at 189, when $2 is resistance, doesn't make sense. But if you can get it in front of that channel, 140 into this 170 area, where it's had that chop, where it had this massive gap through, like, look how good the short was for me. In front of that 150 at the bottom end of that range. The second it broke, it's like bang, 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 lose, 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 lose on the short. The second I was shorting the top end of the range, right? And now it's trying to break to the 2. So buy at the high, don't like it, because if it gaps down and then only falls all pre-market, your outs kind of stink, and they're probably down around like, a good 30% from here. But if you've got it and you're trying to hold a 150 or 160, or it comes back and maybe holds support at 170, those look a heck of a lot better. Otherwise, just play the momentum. Like, this does feel like a stock it's going to maybe do a after 4 o'clock, 2 p.m. or $2 breakout, and then you can kind of just use that momentum and get in and out, trade it in the post market if that's your if that tickles your fancy, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
420.
Yeah, 420, yeah. Well, I mean, you started it, man. I mean, this is the thing. He's going to keep doing it. Okay, let's just go on some names here. Shout out to Steven. Yeah, what's up to my fellow sports franchise owner? What's up, Steven? You own Liverpool. I own Green Bay Packers. So good job so far there. Hopefully our teams.
Yay for one.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully our teams can make it this year somewhere special. I don't know what Liverpool is doing right now, but obviously, and I've been to Old Trafford, Man U. So if I had a team, that would be that. But I don't really, follow that. It's just international soccer. I'm like one of those fake fans. So okay, 116.25. Although I've been loving Team Canada lately, that's been fun to watch. I actually want to go to one of. I don't know if they have any more games at the BMO Field, but I will go to that if there is anything. If anybody has tickets, invite
cool?
me.
Yeah. This is think about it. We're going to be able to watch the World Cup,
right,
and not just cheer for, because everyone has that team that's like that's where your family might be from. If your country doesn't have a good squad, but like we've never had a chance, the women's team, to cheer for Canada, but we're going to get our shot, man. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun to take advantage of that and be able to go to a bar and cheer for your home country in the Men's World Cup. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, the women won the Olympics.
And, of course, remember, like the best player, we got a Brampton boy. Miss V, got to put her on screen because you want her.
And Neil, we've got another super chat from Mike Barwick. Thoughts on Costco? Potential long on Costco, guys?
Which stock?
Costco.
Costco, yes. Potential long, always long.
Long term.
Yeah, long term, everything
always,
on Costco. I would just say buy dips all the time.
But look, if you're talking about like the reaction to the earnings, you saw what happened to. I mean, we saw what happened was Target was just back down to the downside, and there's some retail that have been getting smacked down there. So there's a bit of a difference between what are you doing for tomorrow and are you buying the dips. I think it's a great dip buy. We talked about this in the morning. Like, it comes anywhere 500 to 50 period. This dropped 5%. That's a great buying area for Costco, I think.
Ooh.
Stink bit it.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I mean, I love Costco here. So, Canada versus USA, January 30th in Hamilton, I guess, Tim Hortons Field. So I think that's what you mean. Soze there. So yeah, send me I'll just look up tickets. So I'm going to find out to see that because I'll go to that game. I want to go. So, but Jan 30th. In Hamilton too? Wow. I mean, I've been to Bills games and stuff like that, not Jan 30th, because unfortunately the Bills never host any home playoff games or anything, but that would be Super Bowl anyways. So we'll wait to see in the Bills, man. Tonight, can you believe tonight they could go underneath the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Please.
Do you understand who the Pittsburgh Steelers are?
Please don't.
Unbelievable.
So just to let you know, tickets go on sale the 17th for that game.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So a week. All right. We'll look at that. Yeah, definitely interested to go to that game. That should be a lot of fun there. But okay, let's go. Right now, Costco. Good question. I love this name. I'm not in it. I think this is a name that you got to buy. I'd buy it right now. It's too late. You're going to wait for earnings to come through. Any dip down in Costco, you buy. I mean, we'll see what they say. I don't think supply chain or anything like that is a reason to sell off Costco. You know, Kirkland, we've talked about their brands. They are the best managers, in my opinion anyways, of logistics. I mean, sure, you got Amazon. I mean, Amazon's probably the best.
#1.
But again, you know, Amazon, Walmart, Costco, they're all right there. And the best thing about Costco is they really are the ones that control their suppliers. Like, you want to tell Costco something, good luck. Like, they're the ones telling you what's good. So we'll wait to see what happens with Costco. I like it. I'm a buyer down here. And by the way, guess what, guys? This is what's up right now with Nucor. And by Nucor, I mean Nubank, ripping to the high side. Let's get some out right now.
Over and over
43.
again.
This is what we're doing, man. Bang! And that's what happens, man. Spin the money. You know, we're holding on to that. We averaged in down there. And that's where, boom. And this is where it's a little different strategy, obviously, than what Neil's doing. But now I have, like, the majority of the shares still on board. So we'll see. I mean, we're at this 1050 level. This was a level that we were worried about there. But Nubank, you know, just waiting for this to happen. There's the pop. Let's go. We still have imbalances coming out, but there's the big trade for me now on Nubank, ripping up to 50. So we'll see. We just took another piece out right there. 40s, 44s, and it just bounced off 50. So let's put some more money in there, get some more out, but a good trade there on Nubank.
Yeah, I mean, that one just keeps on getting, like, and that's the thing. You can do it any way you want here. Sometimes it amounts to the same thing, but you go back to the well over and over, you hold on for the trade. It still can break out 1050 and get a bit of a bigger move. I'm holding on to the last little bit in case it does that. Although at 340, if Nubank comes back to 10, there's no reloading in front of this level again. Like, that's it. Like, that was the last pop. It's 338. AVCT did make the move to $2. It got to 197. Load. It got to 197, made a bit of a turn. I got on the offer here at 96 and 97. I got the fill at 96. I'm on the offer still at 97. This is just if it breaks to even, you're risking 5 cents. If it comes down 5 cents to the money, you're taking some out here at 91s. You're taking some out here at 87s. Well, at least like 187. And then 185, 180s, all these levels down here, just for a quick scalp trade off of $2 because that was a key level on the higher time frame. So there's going to be offers in front. Why? Because anybody long these breaks, like 150 was the resistance level. You can see what happened at 150 when the last short was no good, and then made that breakout. That's clean. 150 to $2, $2 on the daily chart. When people look to take profit, they keep it simple. It's like, oh, I'm just going to sell. I'll sell at 95. I'll sell at $2 even when I'm long when it broke $1, right? A lot of people like to keep it very, very simple and just take advantage of that. So quick little scalp trade on both of these names here as Tesla's getting closer.
Man, this has been such an amazing day, man. Like, I couldn't be happier with the way this day is paired out, man. I mean, we just crushed Nubank again right here. We still have some on board right now. We'll see if it breaks through 50. I'm going to get out some at 60, and then we'll get out some at 11, right? And so there you go. We're just holding out for a little bit longer, and let's see about a nice run up. But that's twice or 3 times now that we've rejected this 50. So a breakthrough here definitely brings us higher, obviously, up to 11, I think. So I'm going to cancel that 60 actually, and put it like at 75. So we'll see. We'll put, come on, offer. We'll put an offer up here up to 70 or so. See if we get that on a break. We may instantly go up there. So, or it may not go at all. But we've already emptied out again. So we've emptied out 60% of this trade, and this is what I'm talking about. You know, I held for a little bit longer. We just explained the 2 different strategies, and it looks like right now, you know, that 1050 held, right? So you could actually get out here at 1050, at 1047, and then punch your ticket long again through 1050, and that way you're only giving up 4 cents. So that might not be a horrible strategy right now for anybody in this trade. Take it out here. I mean, we only have 20 minutes, but if you were to take it out, and especially those of you that are at Day Trade the World, with the availability of getting back in over and over again with no fees, right? So you get out right now at 1050, just say, okay, I'm out, And then if it breaks through 1050, put like a limit bid to 1055 or something, and then you only be giving up that 5 cents. So that's another sort of an advanced strategy there for some of you that maybe are just starting to trade. You can always get out and then get back in on the break. So that's why I say, might be a decent idea right now. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that's that. And then Ford right now, I'm not gonna. I said about getting out. I think we'll just do that. I'm not super worried. I kind of want to hold. At this point, let's hold for the imbalances to come out. Here they are right here. They're going to come out at, you can see all this time is all wrong. They're going to come out and you're going to see 350 here. So 1550, when those come out, they'll be on here. When things halt, they go on here as well. So we'll wait. All this doesn't matter now. None of this data is recent. So we'll wait. And then at 350, this will all come out and we'll see where we go.
Yeah, and someone just asking, CFBI, Nadeem, CFBI, please. We can talk about it. It just broke down 10% now, and it just broke support that it had. There's nothing to see until probably 13. Even that's splitting. That's grasping at straws to think that it's going to have support at 13. Maybe just because at the end of the day, it's run out of time to keep falling. But it's got this level down around like $12 has been a godsend for the stock. You've seen the 2 times in just the last couple of sessions this week, obviously, that it's been able to hold that price level. So if it can continue to hold that, I still maintain, like I came in today and we talked about this. I wanted a 1550 break. I was willing to take it if it broke out long. You got the same level idea for support here at 12 even. The middle of the range has been a bit ugly if you've been trading inside of it. There've been some trades there, but 12 is your support level. It's already broken the one from today, so not a heck of a lot to see there. It does feel like Tesla might have it went down to 1,003. I was looking for 1s and 2s. It got down to 3 and is bouncing now, so 1,007. I might have missed out the party on that one. AVCT, which we just got that short at that 196. It did give me 1 out. It's now retesting back towards that high. The 15-minute is useless. It's retesting towards that high. I'll reload one more time here. We are getting close to the end of the day. We'll show you the imbalances. This stock is not going to, this small cap, the chances of it having an imbalance that would move it are pretty much zilch. We've seen once, Sean, where there was an IPO, I forget which one. There was a recent IPO that actually had a big imbalance one day. Usually they almost never do, but there was one the other day where within a couple of days, maybe Rivian, like on the 2nd or 3rd day, that it had a big imbalance. So it's not like it doesn't happen, but most times you're not likely to see one. Although the chip makers, I'd probably be interested to see what happens with them because of their weakness. So we'll get those to you in 5 minutes.
Yeah, so again, guys, thanks for watching. I do have some beef to pick with everybody. I think we've dropped a hell of a lot of knowledge. Those of you are already talking about that with those wick trades and stuff like that. So I'm going to demonstrate for you what we need you guys all to do here. This is the show. You're going to find the show. You're going to find this little like button. And you're going to go like this. You're going to turn that thing black, brown, blue, green, whatever you're watching it on. There it is. So we're going to turn that upside down. We're going to go to Miss V as well because she's really going to tell you what's good here. Up to 600. We need to get to 1,000. I mean, this show is completely for free, and I think it's been a good one. And who is this handsome gentleman? Let's get ready to go over to Valeria right now on Big Desk. Let's go, V.
Sean, you're absolutely right. We need to get 1,000 likes. 3,000 people are watching and only, all right, almost 800 likes now. Thank you, Sean. And yes, guys, show is absolutely free. Guys give you free knowledge, great advices, and a wonderful company. So please find a second to give us a like. Support the community. Back to you.
And there it is, man. We'll just go, we'll hit the air horn, we'll hit the confetti, we'll do everything for you. We'll drop down the disco ball. You can hear some funky music because there it is, man. We just cracked a G note.
Why is it?
That was not changed, but that's okay. We'll do the dancing gorilla instead. There it is. What happened, man? I'm doing it. Rob.
What are you doing, Rob?
Gorilla? I don't know. Who knows? But there it is. There's the likes right there on the screen. 1K. Thank you so much for that. Let's get this off the screen. I know that's hard to watch when you're watching 2 shows at once. But there it is. Thank you so much. And thank you to Ms. V for that little throw there. So good job so far today. Thank you so much, Trader family. And we're here. We're here every single day. Every single day the market's open, we're here. If it's not going to be, Brendan will be gone. So we'll have 1 week, Neil. Well, you'll be on the big desk there.
I'll do my best.
So unfortunately, we will be missing out on
Dada.
But he'll be back, and I'm sure he'll have some to come in and join with us right there. So we'll be missing Brendan, but hey, never fear. That's a week away. So he's here all next week, and then me and Neil slipping in and out, and then you're not here the following week, actually, after Christmas. So, all right.
A couple of things. AVCT did finally move. It just filled at 187. I guess I could have been bidding 185. I got the last out here will be in front of that 180. I'm not looking to see if it's going to be a home run and absolutely tank further than this. I just wanted to scalp off of $2. It's a 96 short. You're risking, like I said, 5 cents. So you're already looking at 3-1 if it fills me here on the last bit. We have 3 minutes until those imbalances come out. I cannot wait until Christmas this year because I'm finally traveling, baby, going to Halifax, get some seafood, chill out with the brother. The only downside is, obviously, remember I told you I had that gigantic, ridiculous Lego thing that I bought?
Yes.
So I bought this huge Super Star Destroyer, which is literally yay big. And then I promised my brother, because we're old and we act like we're kids, that together we'd take it apart and rebuild it. Because I had to buy it on eBay. I don't want to tell you how much I paid for it because my wife was nappy about it. But it's I can't take that on the plane because I don't want it to, I'm not taking this gigantic thing on the plane, so I have to wait till he can come visit. Yeah, I bought it put together because you can't buy it anymore.
You know what? I'm looking for the Home Alone.
He wants the Home Alone.
I want the Home Alone one. I'm trying to find it.
It's impossible to get these
impossible
sets,
to get
man.
these
We're
sets,
trying to get the Harry Potter one, and you can't get it. It's it
I
sells
told you
out.
there's lots of Harry Potter ones, but you're looking for a specific one.
It's a specific one, but it sells out instantly. People have bots. Once it becomes available, it's boom, they just buy it up and then resell it on eBay or whatever they do.
So the market has turned bearish. So there we go. We have the bull out. I'll turn it to a bear right now. I'm worried about tomorrow. I'm glad that the market's off a little bit here, or back up off the bottoms, I should say. But we are a little bit nervous with only 2 minutes left. We'll see what the imbalances are going to do right now. But I'm not super excited about them. I actually think there'll be a decent sell to the downside, just getting ready. And it's just for the CPI. I don't know. I mean, they'll pair off and we could be higher than this at the end of the day, but we'll watch out for that. Okay, so here is Nubank. We said it, whoopsies. Oh no, I got out of too many shares there. Okay, that's fine. All right, so we still have a piece on. I got to make sure I don't get out of more than that. We just got out of too many shares there, but that's fine. We got out at 46, or 47, whatever it was. There's another out off of these bottoms, so you can see we're long at 10.16 now. We'll see what happens. We just got double out there. I didn't mean to do that. Double hit the key. So now we'll see if it comes back to 10.80 or so. That's my target. I don't have any offers out there anymore, so that's going to be it up here, 10.90 or so, and we'll see where we go. But there we are, out of that. And it's just because, how many times are you going to see this 50, right? We're long at 16. We might as well take the bid or take the offer there at 50. So we do that, and now we'll watch it with only a minute left to go. Should be exciting coming through. So we'll wait for that. We'll see if this has any imbalance. I don't know if it's going to, and what we're talking about if you're joining us. First of all, by the way, I just noticed, we have 1K likes. We just did it. There's 3,000 watching. So, are there 2,000 of you that right now are I don't know if I'm going to hit the like? I don't know. Please hit the like button. I mean, that's it. It's free. Just hit the like button. We're not going to, do anything to you. So do that. There's over 3,000 people watching. We should have 3,000 likes. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Someone said there's no more active traders on YouTube than us. So I believe that's probably true, man. I have over 150.
Who else was active like us before?
I have over 150 fills right now. We're not go long on this pre-market break high. I'm out. No.
I have more fills than you, but you know why. I'm 321, but I had to get out of this one
All right,
stock.
Here come the imbalances.
Imbalances coming out right now. Dominic, we'll get to this BZ right after imbalances.
Yeah, so here we go. So we'll do this right now. I don't see much on here, man. Apple's a sell, so no surprise there. We got out of Apple's way early. We didn't even review our Apple trade, but there's Apple as a sell. Let's go back down this together, guys. Yeah, thanks for showing it. There's Uber there as a sell. We'll see if that's going to do anything. I don't really see. Yeah, I'm just calling it up so you guys can see the chart to see what happens. Apple, I don't even. Oh, Softy, but these are just small sells. Yeah, nothing. So today, honestly, guys, I mean, we've seen these move yesterday. We saw a few names move pretty hard yesterday. If you want to play for tomorrow, sorry, I was talking about yesterday, but for tomorrow, look at Morgan Stanley tomorrow. You're gonna, as inflation sort of creeps back up, I think you can find sort of some solace and some, anything bank related, right? So there's Morgan going to be here. Wells is another name, although Wells.
I think the ones that stink are probably, that's a bad word. The value ones are going to be good ones to play. I think I love Morgan. I'm actually in Morgan Stanley, but I don't own Wells. I just think it can benefit a little bit more from the raising rate environment in some ways. I got it. By the way, 50 just broke on NU.
Yeah.
I just got out at 49. 1 second later, it broke 50. It just the second after.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still there. Yeah, I think it's just there's somebody at 50 there that wants to just sell this thing. I'll put an offer at.
Oh, Dominic was asking about BZ here. Because this put a strong move today, up 17%, and it just flushed back through 35. This is what bullish looks like, right? In a falling market, you have something screaming, pulling back as the market races off its lows, putting in a lower high, bouncing off you up all day long, and then continuing to break out. Now through the 50 period, what you want to see is anticipating a negative day tomorrow. You want to see it hold up at 35. It can hold the 50 period tomorrow. This is exactly what a breakout would look like. But again, it's a pretty range-bound stock. So it's a ring the register 1,000,000% between 38 and 40 because in a weak environment, you want to make sure you're selling something which has a huge move, assuming you're talking about a swing trade, because usually that's what you are. But you found yourself a winner on a very, very weak day. This is about as strong as it does get. There's not much, by the way, of earnings today, but I own one of them.
There's a few decent names on there, but yeah, not much. I mean, there's very few of them, but they're okay names. Yeah, I zoomed in here to get away from those wicks, just to show you. This is JP Morgan, and this is a daily chart. So if you want to talk about a little bit of a flight to safety, I mean, you're just going from 157 up to 162, back and forth here in the last week and a half, right? And so you were high up to 172, but Omicron and everything like that has hit the market. We saw the Fed turn pretty hawkish 2 weeks ago now. I keep forgetting the dates, but about 2 weeks ago, and there it is. So this is JP Morgan. I like that. All the banks look the same. So this is why I zoomed it in, just because we have those wicks there. It's going to look ridiculous otherwise. But the bottom's been 152. It's held all the way back to September. So I think that's good, man. Like if you're going to have like for example, a firm or Microsoft, not Microsoft, but NVIDIA, like they can move 10, 20 bucks in a day, right? The bank, I mean, unless really something happens tomorrow, I don't think that's in trouble. I like AbbVie taking out the 52-week high today, ABBV. This is a name that I was literally loading up like hand over fist. One of our friends and I were talking about this one back down, and it was like 60 or 70 bucks in 2020, and I was like, man, this is a 7% dividend, and now look at this, just straight to the upside here today for AbbVie taking it out. If you find down here, this is March of 20. No, this is a daily chart, right? So there it is down here. Yeah, so there it is right there, March. So this is what I mean, $60, $65. Like these are the longs that we have, plus collecting the divvies all the way up. So a good trade so far on that one. Nucor, I almost said it one more time. Did say it. Nubank, right there, resisting this 50. So what am I looking at a daily chart on? Who cares? Yeah, it's not breaking it. So good trade here. We got that out. We got that. Now we're just holding it. We'll see if we can get it out right now at 10.50. It doesn't
I'm
look like
curious
it's gonna
about this
break.
poll, though.
I'm just going to get out of this.
Like the poll, do you think NU will close 3 minutes ago? Will it close above $10? Like we just showed you, we're literally just long in front of 10, and it keeps on working over and over again. But yet, 28% think it'll close below, and 14% think even. Like, I mean, it's not closing. It's not going to close at exactly $10. So that's a losing bet. The 14% that said even. But yeah, it's clearly going to be above at this point. Yeah, there's almost no way. It's going to be clearly be above. We just got a super chat from Dustin saying your celebratory drink of choice for each member of the Trader TV team. Lately, it's a bourbon Manhattan for me. Although I'm partial to an old fashioned, the key ingredient in both cases is bourbon. That's me, though.
Yeah, celebratory drink. I mean, I'm always cracking champagne for celebratory, but you know what we were running the last couple of days? We talked about this a little bit on the show, rum and eggnog. So we put up Christmas lights and Christmas trees and watching like, I have that National Lampoon's cup with the moose, and he has the ears. So yeah, so I just drop the eggnog up in there. Make sure you got some dark rum, and all is good. You don't need to buy the higher quality rum makes any drink better, but the eggnog kind of, So yeah, I just have some, I think it's Captain Morgan Old Spiced rum. So we'll use that. Brendan, celebratory drink of choice before we wrap this up.
I actually recently just got a bottle of Buffalo Trace, which is Joe Rogan's favorite, or he talks about it all. Probably a sponsor, let's be honest, of Joe Rogan's podcast. Buffalo Trace, actually, really good. And it's not crazy expensive either.
Was it a whiskey?
Yeah, it's whiskey.
A whiskey, okay.
Yeah. Buffalo Trace.
What, Brad?
Go back to sleep,
Will Brad's
Brad.
mic work? Okay, Brad, we're gonna throw to you now. Your celebratory drink of choice. Drink, Brad. Drink of choice. Celebratory, Brad. What's yours?
Whiskey sour.
Say it again.
Whiskey sour.
Attaboy. Yeah. So
Hold on, we gotta get Ms. V's.
Yeah. There's Ms. V. What's up? Vodka straight. What's up, Ms. V?
Red wine for any occasion.
Red wine. So classy. Like that.
Good job.
V. I'm going to show you something here. We went out to, and I told Brendan to go to see this thing right here. So this was on my Twitter. We went to something called Sweaters and Snowflakes there down in Toronto. And I had, oops, oh yeah, that's right. I can't show this much. I had whiskey sour here this night, and it was like a gingerbread whiskey sour. So this dude drops in here. It is right. It's right there. It's one of these drinks right there. It's one of those. But there it is right there. This guy made them up for me. Great. I like the whiskey sour. Good choice on that one. And then the red wine. Did we say, was it Merlot? Did we get the grape?
I just heard red wine.
Okay, Cabernet. So Cabernet Sauvignon. So good look there. So anybody that now knows, Brad, there you go. You know what to get Ms. V for Christmas there. A nice bottle of red Cabernet. So
the questions came. VWAP Trader just asked, what are we watching for Christmas? My wife and I have started a tradition. Well, it's in our family. Our daughter doesn't do it with us, but we now watch Die Hard. Yeah. It's a Christmas movie, Prad. You tell me okay, so it's only 3 minutes. We're having a pretty solid day. The market, maybe not so much. But if Prad tells me he hasn't seen Die Hard, I'm going to... Of course it's a Christmas... Prad is trying to tell me that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Of course it's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. There's a few earnings. I don't know if we're going to get to them here. Did we show the earnings board?
I don't even know.
I don't know what's going on. We did?
No, I don't know.
Die Hard's a Christmas movie, man.
All right.
It's totally a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the wife and I actually just had this discussion about it being a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I feel like Brad never seen it if he doesn't think it's a Christmas movie. But it's not one to watch with your family.
Well, yeah, my daughter's not watching.
Age dependent. Chewy, Costco, Lululemon, Oracle. I mean, that's what I mean. Broadcom. Yeah. There's a lot. I don't know anything about Academy Outdoors or Leslie's, but that looks nice. Looks like Leslie's maybe beach apparel with that kind of a thing. I have no idea what it is. We are flat right now looking at those names. Look, for me, I'm a buyer of Costco over and over and over again. I actually don't even own it, so I'm waiting for it to come back to the downside. I like the retail spots.
I'd have to sell another retailer to get into Costco, but that's just me. But I still think, unlike you're a buyer. If I hadn't sold some Oracle when it was previously at this level in front of the highs, I wish I could say I sold at 99, but I did sell a third of it when it got to 90s. It's been a good run. Then I would likely have been doing it here, but I'm not going to touch it. This is not going to hold the rest for the long term. But you got to watch out because, certainly that old tech, if it's going to be a down day, they can get beaten up a little bit more than the overall market. So we don't normally trade Oracle. Tomorrow is going to be an exception, I do think. Only a minute to go.
Ford, I think it printed there. And then it got out of our Ford right here for a monster winner as well. That's 40 cents on Ford. That's pretty good for me on that trade. We'll just take a quick look at the imbalances just to see what is happening here. These are just warrants or units, not doing anything right now. Pfizer, I guess, is the biggest. Oops, there it is. Pfizer, the biggest name on board right now. Wow, what a drop down on Pfizer today. Although you're still up, so I didn't mean to say that, but it was ticking up near 53, so surprising to see it back down to 52. New booster shots apparently approved by the FDA from 16 and
we're breaking
older,
lows,
right now. My Tesla sale at 1020. Look, I'm going to regret doing this. I know that because I'm not going to be aggressive on the in, but we did take out 20% of our Tesla today at 1022. I didn't like 1020. I didn't like that break. With only 10 seconds ago, I'll hit it. I got it, Neil. Yes, we both. Sometimes if we both hit it, it doesn't work. But here we go.
It's slow.
We're getting ready to go. 6, 5. There's Miss V. You wore green, but it failed today. 3, 2, and 1. Yes, let's go, Blue Jays. Let's go. But enjoy the Thursday night game. Should be a good one, man. I have Najee and Deontay going, so I'm expecting that if they don't put up some points, then I don't know what to do.
I would have my deadline acquisition, Adam Thielen, going tonight, but he promptly got hurt after I traded for him, so that's how my season's going.
Is he? Yeah, and Dalvin Cook might not go tonight either. So
I'm playing against the Dalvin Cook owner because Jason's got him.
Yeah, but he has Madison as well.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I played last week. He was number 1. I was number 2. So that pissed me off last week. But okay, we're getting ready to rock and roll here. Let's go over to Brendo. How did we finish the day?
We were just looking at the end of a weekday, guys. So we sold off into the close there pretty hard. Sean was mentioning the significance of that. We'll see what happens tomorrow. About 1.5% for the NASDAQ, S&P 0.7. 0.2 there for the Dow, still positive on the day. Everything else, we don't have to talk about that. Do we want to, what does Prad want? Hi, Prad.
Bring it to my screen a little bit.
Can we? There we go.
Or whatever, man.
Have a good weekend, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's how you're going to roll?
Honestly. So basically, this is how Pratt rolls.
Front hand, back hand.
He has no idea where Vancouver is, right? But he can... But he can Google something, and then whatever the answer is comes out. So there, good. I got a nice little chuckle out of everyone there. I hope everyone thought that was pretty funny. But we love you, Trader Brad.
Oh, we got to get one last thing in here.
Sure.
Justin. Justin gave his old fashioned. He's on the old fashioned crew, so he gave his beverage of choice there. So yeah, I like
nice to have Justin as part of the Trader TV Live team there, pulling him away from Day Trade the World. But again, join us, Day Trade the World. Check out that, our #1 sponsor. It's a platform that we use. We're really proud of the software and everything that they offer. So I've been here 20 years, something similar to Neil as well. So hey, look, it's Lucid. It's our trade of the day. You're going to hear me talk about how I thought this name was short, and you know what happened to Lucid. So hopefully you're able to watch that and understand some of the stuff that I was talking about. I think it was a good one. Brendan, very, very good. All of us today. I want to give a big shout out to Trader Brad, of course, for proving us wrong about Die Hard. Good job there, Trader Brad. I might just Google the same thing and just go to link 2, where it probably says, yes, it is a Christmas movie. Okay, Brad, let me close the show, bro. Thank you so much to Rob and to Lucas. Absolutely fantastic work on the ones and twos today. There they are. Thank you so much for Rob, and congratulations again for what Rob. I can tell people, right? You're homeowner now. So thanks, Rob. Yeah. Congratulations. So we're really happy about that, getting into the market. So thanks for that, Rob, for letting us know. And I'm proud. See, now I'm very happy for him. So that's good. Thank you to Miss V. Again, the hardest worker here, besides the guys on the ones and twos, I feel like. Miss V, thank you so much again today for all that you've done. They're covering great for Prad. Neil, I'm going to be cheering for Minnesota tonight, although I do have a lot of Pittsburgh. I love to see Buffalo do big things. I mean,
Minnesota better win tonight.
I hope so.
Go Vikings.
They're no threat to the Packers, so go Vikings. Thank you to Brendan as well, man. It's been a fantastic day. We'll see everybody tomorrow, so enjoy it. CPI tomorrow should be interesting. We've got the 4-pack in the building right now, so we'll see everybody tomorrow. Stay tuned for the trade of the day. Bye. Ciao.